Hello everyone, welcome or welcome back to my channel. This is Hazel Lucia Tarot. I am Stephanie, your tarot reader, and today's reading is about sorting out your feelings. We're going to be looking at exactly what you are feeling, why you are feeling it, and maybe just taking a deeper, more intuitive dive into the whole situation going on with you. This is going to be channeled advice from source as well as tarot and oracle cards, but we have 4 piles here for you today. We have pile 1 with this rose quartz and protection. Pile 2, we have a selenite heart, the unknown. Pile 3, we have black moonstone, self-inquiry. And pile 4, we have this green calcite. I can't show the picture because it's inappropriate. Intuitive knowledge. So take a few deep breaths, clear your mind, and I'll be ready for your reading whenever you are. Hello there, my beautiful pile 1. If you chose the rose quartz chunk and the protection card, we have a reading here for you about your feelings, sorting out what needs to be cluttered when it comes to your feelings, as well as just taking a deep dive into what is going on within your emotional space and seeing what we need to sort out or what we need to rise to the surface is what I'm hearing, because I feel like some of you are in need of a realization. So I'm not sure if you click this reading wondering whether you have any emotions to sort out or not. Very strong energy that was coming before I even tapped into the reading, before I started recording. It's very male energy. Like, I definitely feel it's about a man, and either a father or a brother. Very strongly brother, though. You could have had this passed down from a father figure, though. But for those of you who have brothers, you learned how to mimic some aspect of expressing your emotions from this brother. It could be an older brother, or if you are the same age, you could have just looked to them. I really feel like it's an older brother. Regardless of your own gender here, pile 1, you looked up to this person to see how to handle things. You saw how they did it and you did this yourself as a defense mechanism. It's not that you were trying to follow what they were doing. It's just that I'm not sure. I feel like there's some kind of family trauma here. Possibly. Take that only if it resonates. But you did all of this for protection, for boundaries. You and your sibling, because I feel like some of these brothers may not identify as brothers anymore, if that makes sense. Regardless, if you don't have an older brother or a male figure, it could also be an older sibling. It could be a sister who has a very masculine energy as well. I consider myself to be one of those kinds of sisters. But there's definitely a feeling here that you protect your feelings, you protect your energy by setting a boundary. But oddly enough, this boundary is mirroring somebody else's boundary. It's like, it's a little scorpionic, where like if somebody is doing something, you do the same, because this is how you've learned how to deal with uncomfortable feelings or difficult situations or any type of emotion, even happy emotions, oddly enough. It's like if somebody... The scenario I'm being shown is if somebody approached you with something fun and silly, you don't react right away. You gauge how this person is. And even though on the inside you may be feeling that same joy that they are having, on the outside you don't show it. You don't show it unless you have some sort of respect or some sort of bond with this person. And it's odd that all of this is coming through very strongly, because I haven't even tapped into the oracle cards yet. But I feel like I need to let this out before it comes through. This is part of your vibe check. But there's definitely a feeling here that you set your boundaries very, very thickly. I'm hearing thick, like they're not strong, they're thick. It's kind of like, you know how foam can be really thick, but it can also be easy to get through? It's that kind of energy. I feel like you let people easily into your life, but the boundary is still there. Like, there's still going to be some sort of distance between you and those close to you, especially if you have romantic partners, maybe even your children. Like, you have emotions, but you're not always going to let them in, because there's a feeling here that those emotions they're sacred to you, or you've kept them there due to this paternal or brotherly figure, or masculine energy, whatever you want to call it. Some of you may not have known your fathers, and maybe you learned about your father through this brotherly figure, and so you always imagined that figure being your brother. Again, take that only if it resonates. I feel like that's not going to be the case for everybody. Or even if there was some degree of separation between you and your biological father, again, you look to your sibling for father-like figure energy, especially if you come from a family where there's been divorce or step siblings or anything to that degree. This could also be an uncle for some of you, an uncle that you could see as a brother if you were close enough in age. But there's definitely a very strong male presence here. And a lot of your emotions and how you handle them have been based on this particular figure, person, energy. And it's all about protection. I feel like this is part of how they protected you too. Like there were just certain things you didn't speak about, or there were certain things that, you just weren't allowed to show. But let me go ahead into the rest of the oracles. Let's see if this clarifies anything. We have Venus, number 4, which is interesting because I was feeling a very male energy, but the fact that Venus is coming through is letting me know some of you need to tap into this energy of being in, it's the energy of love. It's the energy of being nurtured. I'm getting big Empress vibes here. We also have retreat, number 31. I really feel like a lot of you retreat whenever you feel something. And what did I say about that boundary? That here is this big bubble and this is you. And it's almost like you keep your people here on this castle or in these hills, but this is you in your emotions. Quite literally, because that's water. Number 31. We also have choose who you are becoming, number 7. I like this. I like this a lot. And caution. So a lot of this makes sense. Let me put this over here because I feel like this is part of your past energy because these colors are very similar. They're very warm. So, oh, okay. Some of you are going to release a lot of this old energy. But what I'm seeing with choose who you are becoming, I think you've realized, or you will be coming to the realization that you no longer want to, I'm hearing, digest your emotions the way you used to from these figures in your life. And it's no disrespect to the people who showed you how to handle these emotions. This was when you were very young. This is when you were probably still a child and didn't understand. When you are growing up and you're learning to be an adult, you look to the adults around you to see how to act like an adult. Like, it's pretty simple stuff, but that also includes the subconscious things, the emotional things, the things that are unseen. You learn that on a very quiet level. So I feel like some of you are wanting to break out of this particular feeling or this particular coping mechanism that you have learned in the past from, like I said, this family figure. I'm just gonna say family figure going on out because I feel like, again, it's not necessarily a brother for a lot of you, but for some of you, but for a lot of you it is going to be. And part of the reason is your heart is blocked off here. Not completely. I feel like you're still very much capable of loving and being a very tender and genuine person. But there's some aspect of your heart that it's kind of resistant to really allow, like I said, you don't allow the people close to you completely into your emotions. It's like a fear of vulnerability here, or not a fear, because caution isn't necessarily a fear, it's an alert. It's like you don't have to be afraid of it, but do watch out for it. And this is how you have been taught. You've been taught to be very cautious throughout your life of certain feelings or situations. Not even the situation itself, because I'm not sure if some of you even had that much of a traumatic childhood. This could just have been the way that you were taught to cope with emotions that were difficult, the way it's been passed down from generation to generation within your family or families. So there's a sense here that you have learned to be very cautious with the way you express emotion or with the people you've allowed into your heart, into your intimate space. And I feel like it shows the most with your romantic partners, the ones who want to get the closest to you. Another way this could be seen is you choose romantic partners that you know will not dive too deeply into your own emotions. Like you prefer them to be at a distance emotionally, or you prefer them to be intimate only in the physical sense, but not in the emotional sense. So there's a chance here that some of you may have a repeated pattern of partners who didn't quite get you. And part of the reason is, well, one, I feel like you went out of your way to choose these people just like that, whether you're aware of that or not. And two, you wanted them to not question you about your traumas or about your upbringing or about why you process things the way you do. It's like you're not looking for a therapist, and that's okay. I mean, not everybody needs a therapist within their partner. I feel like that's actually that's a healthy thing to have, but you do need to allow yourself to be slightly vulnerable with them, because if you can't be vulnerable with your romantic partner, then who can you be vulnerable with? I guess friends, but even the friends you have, I feel, are very casual. I feel like you don't really tell them too much about your emotions. And when emotions do pop up with friends, I feel like you handle them in a very delicate way, in a very cautious way. Because it's almost like you don't want to catch the feelings either. Pile one, you're very empathic, and this is part of the reason this entire scenario is very important to you. And this is why you have to pave your own way when it comes to handling your emotions, because you need to let people within your bubble. And not to drain your energy, not to become codependent on each other, but to show them that it's okay to feel these things. After all, we're human for a reason, and humans were programmed to have emotions. They can be quite beautiful. They can also be, a little bit awful, but for the most part, they're beautiful. But like I said earlier, even with the happy emotions, you might be a little bit cautious. An example I'm being shown, and I'm going to use myself as an example because I've grown a lot from this. I used to be the kind of person who had trouble accepting joy or staying in the energy of joy for a long period of time. Like I would be happy, but maybe only for a few hours. And then I was like, okay, time to cut that out. I can't be too happy for too long. Like for some reason within my head, within my subconscious, I got the notion that it was not okay to be happy for too long, which is ridiculous when you think about it, because I should be allowed to feel whatever I feel when I want it, for as long as I want, or for the duration that it's supposed to be. But it's like I would cut myself off from that joy after maybe a few hours or a day or something along those lines. So that's what I'm getting. Because it's not necessarily just the ugly emotions like sadness, anger. It's also the happy ones like contentment, peace, joy, love, any of the positive emotions as well. With Venus, like I said, we're tapping into the heart space. This is where all those emotions are going to come in. And even these two colors, the green and the blue, this is giving me, I think it's called the heart soul chakra, which is right between the throat and the heart, or the soul star. I can't remember, but it's something between the throat and the heart. And this is the color that I'm seeing. I've been told it's pink, but because the heart space is green and the throat chakra is blue, I like to think that it's more of a teal color. So I'm definitely seeing you open up, especially when you consider this girl's, her arms are crossed over her heart, like she's protecting and guarding her heart. A lot of you are going to open up that heart and allow people in. And I feel like you're going to allow them to feel the love you have to offer, not just romantic and platonic, well, not just friendship, not just romantic, but also like platonic, the love for humankind, the love for the world, essentially, like the love you can have for another human being who's just going about doing their human being things, I really love this energy. I feel like you are meant to bring a sense of peace within people that they themselves didn't realize they needed, or even if it's just for that small amount of time that you happen to be with them. We're getting out of this cautious, protective energy. You're still going to be very protected, of course, and we're moving into this being of love and choice and control and power, because there is power within owning what you feel and choosing to feel what you want to feel and processing it in a better way, as opposed to just bottling it up, essentially. Yeah, you're gonna come out of your bubble like this little swan. And I feel like your relationships will also change because of this. Your romantic relationships, as well as those with your family and friends. Because whenever I see a swan, I think of marriage, because the swan symbolism is used a lot within weddings and stuff. But I also just think of partnerships in general. And of course, Venus is the planet of love and relationships, and even of what's coming through is your appearance will also change, because it is the planet of physical appearance, like fashion and sensuality. So maybe even your smell will change. Maybe you'll start wearing a lot more different essential oils or colognes or something that is just going to give you a very ethereal, beautiful vibe to you. I really do love this energy. But the emotions we're tapping into right now is love, self-love, and this caution. I am going to get more cards from the Prism Oracle. That it was my intent to get like 3 more, just to see what is going on here, what other emotions are coming through that we need to look at. But this is the overall gist of it. For my pile 1, you have creativity. So some of you might have a very creative side to you that you don't really let out, because your creativity is tied to how you feel. I also have abundance. This could have been cutting off some sort of money coming in, or at the very least, the feeling of abundance. If you already have money, it could just be the feeling of love and joy that will make you feel abundant, feel like you have everything that you need all the time. It's like not feeling any lack, like you don't lack anything. It's that feeling that you are going to call in. And balance, yeah, lots of green. Like I said, we're tapping into the heart space here. But with balance, you're going to learn how to balance out how you feel, how to manage the things that you feel. Because like I said, even the happy things, you put like a time limit on it, or you don't allow yourself to fully enjoy it. It's almost like you're a thinker and a doer before you're a feeler, but you should be all three at the same time when appropriate. I think especially when you want to think and do, because your feelings will let you know what's going on a more intuitive level. But I really love this energy for you. Ooh, back of the deck energy, sweetness. I typically don't do back of the deck energy for oracles, but yeah, there's going to be a sweetness to you. Like I said, this is going to improve your romantic relationships. Whether you're in one right now or if you're about to be in one, doesn't matter. There's going to be a lot more sweetness here because you're going to be just more in tune with your emotions. You're going to be more tapped into your heart, tapped into how other people feel. And yeah, it's going to, like, it'll make your intimacy that much more deep, if you know what I mean. So let's go ahead and look at the tarot, because I'm loving this energy for you, pile 1. So for you, I'm being told to choose the Prism Tarot. I'm using different tarot decks for every pile. So if you happen to click on another pile and see a different tarot deck, I link or at least list what the deck is in the description for those of you who care about the decks. But for my pile 1, I'm being told to get 3 cards, and I'm going to clarify it. Okay, we have the Page of Pentacles here with efficiency. We also have, this is the Knight of Pentacles with efficiency. We also have the Page of Cups with play. Yeah, I feel like your inner child has been wanting to come out a little bit. The Moon, shadow work. With the Moon here, this is letting me know that this is definitely something that happened during childhood. There's some aspect of your childhood that you refuse to look back on, or that you refuse to look at. We don't have to do that here, or I'm not really going to talk about it. I'm just letting you know that there's something about your childhood that is wanting to come to the surface, and you may want to have to deal with that. You could speak to somebody about this if they're willing and open to be spoken to about this. But whatever went on that really made you feel trapped or have to lock away, because right now my heart is closing up, like very noticeably. It's like the gates are shutting down, and yeah, it's like the gates are shutting when they were just open a little bit ago in the oracles. It's very interesting energy, pile 1. It may not be the first time that you're dealing with this either. You may have been to certain energy healers or therapists, and they may have even told you the same. So let's go ahead and get your third card or section. We have 2 of Lightning, planning. Yeah, let's go ahead and clarify these. Back of the deck energy. 4 of Swords, rest, but I'm taking this to mean meditation. Some of you would definitely benefit from meditation, or even just taking the time to reflect on why you feel these things. But let me get my other deck. I'm going to use the Mini Empyrean. And look, I don't know whose father is coming through or father figure. They want to let you know they're very proud of you. Regardless of what the situation was when they were alive, or if you even knew them, they want to tell you they're very proud of you, that you are willing to be open in a way that they never could be, or that they didn't allow for you, your family, or whomever they impacted to do so. They wish they had been able to provide that space for you very strongly. This is what happens when you're a medium. Sometimes you accidentally bump into your deceased loved ones, and they'll just come through when all I'm really trying to do is read your energy. They happen to linger there because they want their messages to get across. So take that only if it resonates. This is only for those of you who have that kind of person. But let's go ahead and clarify these. So with the Knight of Pentacles with efficiency. This is slow progress. I feel like you may be working on this for some time. Like I said, it may not be the first time you're hearing this. This could just be affirmation or confirmation of that, but also maybe a little different way of looking at all of these energies. Let's go ahead and clarify the Nine of Pentacles though. We have the Nine of Wands. You guys are very resistant to this. You're resistant to letting go of whatever is entrapping your heart, because I literally see like a very pointy gate that is closing. It's like caging the heart, and your heart is like a Victorian mansion, probably haunted. It looks cool, but like, let's renovate it. You know, you can keep that aesthetic if you want, but let's renovate it. Let's go ahead and clarify the Moon and the Page of Cups energy here. Let's clarify this childhood wound coming to the surface. Two of Wands, which is very interesting. I think I have to look at a different way of reading the Two of Wands, because I'm not getting anything too specific here, and I might have to find a book, because actually neither of these decks have a guidebook, and I don't really have like a beginner's tarot book. But there's something here about paving your own path again. Yeah, okay, that makes sense, because we have a map here. And what did we have in the oracles? Choose who you are becoming. Don't worry about becoming the person you thought the people in your past wanted you to be, or that they themselves were. You are capable of breaking any curses, any family baggage, any family lineage. You don't have to become the people that you came from, pile one. You don't have to be just like them, especially if you are, because the biggest example I'm being shown right now is like a man who is becoming like his abusive father. You don't have to become that. You could also flip the genders, whatever. You don't have to become a woman who is like her abusive mother either. You don't have to become that. You can break that. It's not your destiny to be whatever they were. Even if they still are that way, it's not your destiny to be whatever it is that they were. Two of Wands here, you're paving your own way. You are planning your own life. You are choosing who you are becoming. Thank you, Spirit. My God. Let's clarify the Two of Wands. So how exactly can we go about this? Again, lots of repeating cards here. This is the Knight of Pentacles as well. Slow progress. Take it day by day. Take it day by day. Ground yourself. Remember who you are. And by remember who you are, they're saying don't remember the person you thought they wanted you to be. Remember who you are meant to be divinely when you chose to come into this life. If you chose to come into a hard life, it's because you know you were meant to grow out of it and make it better. If not for yourself, then for others ahead of you, especially if you have children, especially if you mentor anybody who is younger or less experienced than you. You are meant to pave the way for these people, to show them that they don't have to stay within this negative, low energy, whatever trash they are in. I don't know why trash came through, but I feel like a lot of people think that their situation is trash here. But no, they don't have to stay within that. They can clean up. They can learn to be in a better space. A lot of you were meant to pave the way, not just for yourself, but for others. And this is what's going to make your heart open, knowing that you can make a positive impact on people, knowing that you can put their demons to rest, put all their woes and their emotional baggage to rest. But you start this by focusing on your own heart space. I really feel this is going to be a very cooperative type of endeavor, where you heal people as you heal yourself, and you heal yourself as you heal people. It's going to be one of those things where you're going to meet exactly the right people you need to know and that you need to transform with in order to be in a better space. There's really something here about breaking old patterns that are not just yours, but also from your family, from your parents, grandparents, whatever the situation is. Back of the deck energy, Seven of Cups. And usually this means like illusions or options, but here it's possibilities. And I really love this because it's like you can make your dreams come true. You can take every path you want and then lighten it and brighten it up, make it bigger, make it better. And if not paths and people, you could always just come into people's lives and make them better. Not saying that you have to crash into them, of course, not saying that you have to force them to grow, but know that just by them knowing you, you've already inspired them to be better. With every person that you've ever smiled at, every person you've ever said hello to, any person who's had the privilege of having to experience your energy, they will know some sort of healing because you've been there, because you shared a funny story with them, because you smiled at them, because you shared some key piece of information. You don't have to be a very useful successful person, pile one. I feel like some of you overcompensate by trying to be like the best of whatever it is that you want to be, but you don't even have to be that. You just have to show up and be yourself and do the things you want to do, because people will take that, they will like it, and they will be inspired by it, even if it was the stupidest, silly story you ever told. Even if you kind of make a fool of yourself in front of this person, don't worry about it. They'll take it to heart, or at least subconsciously at some point in their future, they will understand exactly why it is the things that you've told them or the things that they've seen from you. I really love this energy. Don't think because you think you're someone who's not too talented or worthy of people's attention that you're not already inspiring them just by being the person you currently are. Doesn't matter how much healing you think you need to do, doesn't matter how much influence you think you need to have, you're already impacting them for the better. And the people who know you the closest probably love you the most for these very things, with all your perfections and imperfections, with all your silly things, with all your serious things. They know the kind of person you are, and they love the energy you bring. They love the inspiration you give them. It's truly amazing. They love that you draw your own path. I feel like especially people who know about your background, your history, they love how you're just so much different from where you came from. It's very inspirational, or they're very awed by it, if not inspirational. It's like if they saw where you came from, if they saw the people who raised you or where you were born, they wouldn't believe it. But they're so grateful for the person you are currently, right now, in this very moment, as you hear this. They're very grateful for you as you are, and a lot of them actually truly love you as a human being, at the very least, as a human being, as a person. It might be a very platonic, brotherly kind of love. Maybe that's why brothers are coming through in the beginning. A very brotherly kind of love, but it's definitely there, and they appreciate you for everything you do, because you show up and you're yourself, and that's all they need sometimes. They just need a little piece of your most authentic self. Wow, pile one. I don't think I've been on a rant that intense in a while, but yeah, let's move on to your closing statements. But do work on some of that past energy healing, though, in your own time, when you want to, if you want to. I feel like you eventually will. What's underneath this? 5 of Clouds. Win some, lose some. Not defeat. I feel like when people see the 5 of Swords, they think more of the defeat aspect. They never think about the winning aspect. You may have lost something that was very comfortable, but you won something that's very transformative. And transformation isn't always comfortable, but it's worth it, you know? So we're going to use several decks, actually. I have so many cards for you. Let's start with... Oh my god, I don't even know. Let's start with the Ritual deck. This one is sadly out of print. I bought it so many years ago. It was my first big deck, like my first one that I spent quite a bit on. And it's used for healing. I used to use it for, I don't really do rituals, but I do like the idea of using like crystals or incense to heal. So this could be a few things that you could physically use in order to heal the heart space or whatever other emotions are coming through. So we have Spirit, Akasha, Universe, Eternal Life. This is the third eye and the crown. So just drawing down that light every day, sitting in meditation and or prayer, whichever you prefer, or just sitting in silence by yourself will definitely benefit you. This is why we had the 4 of Swords in the tarot. This is meditation. This is rest. Sometimes even just sleeping with the intent to clear away negative energy can also be very healing. Let's get another card for you. And tapping into your spirit, really sit with your spirit, but mostly meditation and, you know, drawing down the light. We have Yarrow, dream, charm, and allure. I feel like this goes hand in hand with you affecting people and like the energy you bring to people that makes them want to change. It's that charm and allure. But with dream, I feel like some of you might have very transformative dreams, or you could do some sort of, you get messages within dreams. And this is the heart chakra and the sacral as well. Yeah, something about dreams is very important here. So I don't know if you're the kind of person who dreams about certain people and you like to tell them messages. Or maybe you find out about things of people. You find that information through dreams, essentially. Sometimes from people and sometimes from... the people in your dreams are not always who they seem. it's their energy that is coming through. And the reason their particular face comes through, it's because that's the closest face they can think of to the situation at hand, if that makes sense. Like, it's not them actually doing that. They're just using that little simulation character in order to get a message across to you, if that makes sense. So if you have a, like, I'm going to use the most common thing here. Like, this is for my girls, yeah, just girls, not even the hetero ones, all kinds of girls. When you have a dream of your partner cheating on you, it's not that they're actually cheating on you. It's that you have a sort of insecurity within yourself. Look at who they're cheating on you with. What do they have that you think you don't have? Or look at the situation. Look at it. It's not your partner. Your partner is coming through in that dream because they're representing your love, essentially, the love that you feel you deserve. So that's just for the ones who needed to hear that. I myself needed to hear that because I get that a lot. Ask any of my exes. They will tell you. And they're... Yeah, let's move on because I could go on a rant about that too. So I'm using that example. I'm not saying that you do that, pile one, but I know you've heard about it. And if you've been on the receiving end of that, I feel like, yeah, same thing. Okay. This is a card from the Guardian Angel deck. Even if you don't believe in angels, this is messages for you. Inspiration. A wave of inspiration and a stream of beautiful ideas are about to enter your aura. It is important that you trust your intuition at this time. Pay attention to unusual thoughts that come to your mind and do not discount your imagination. Many wonderful ideas which have served humanity were initially scoffed at or ridiculed. We, your guardian angels, will help you discover ways to apply your ideas and manifest new realities into your life. I'm hearing you're going to become more creative through unlocking this journey, because it really does feel like you're unlocking that heart. You're going to become more creative, and we did have the creativity card come up in the oracles. So the creativity could be taken several ways. Quite literally, you are creating something. So it could be either artwork, it could also be an invention, it could be a business or a system, a program. We are all creative to some extent. So whatever it is that you make, that you create for people or for yourself, this is what it's going to impact. And of course, creativity can also be fertility when it comes to this. So this could be how it affects your children, because we do make babies, we create them. So, that's how fertility is being shown here. It will affect the things that you create from then on out. And then let's get a card from the Let Go deck. I'm really loving this deck. So it's my favorite right now. And when I have a favorite deck, I overuse it. For my pile one. Ooh, pretty. This looks like rain. Rain and trees. Except you don't lack for anything. The whole world belongs to you. Like I said earlier, I can't remember when, but there was a feeling of lack, or that you didn't have what it takes to do something, or that you're not complete or whole, or that you're just not meant for something. You do, except that you don't lack anything. The whole world belongs to you. I think I used it I used this very type of situation as an example twice. So really look at where you feel lacking, pile one, because I feel like that's going to give you a key to something here. And then I'm going to finish it off with some Cupid Says cards. I'm being told to just draw 2, unless more pop open. Sometimes I hear a number, but then like more cards fall out without me wanting to. Yep. If only we could travel back in time. Yeah, look back to your past, pile one. You can't change the past, but you can change how you see it. You can change how it affects you currently, and you can change what you decide to do with that story, what you decide to do with that given background. You can decide what you do. You can't travel back in time, but you can decide what you do. The time is now. Yeah. You need to do this now because you're meant to do way better things. You're meant to do great things, and it's going to affect the things you create from here on out. The fact that these are both about time, when this entire deck is not really about time. It's a love oracle, but I'm using it as a self-love kind of oracle right now. This lets me know this is all about time. But this is where I leave you, my beautiful pile one. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. You don't have to tell me if any of this resonated, but if you would like to, you can. And if you want to, you can like and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 2. If you chose this cute little selenite heart and the unknown card, then we have a reading here for you about your feelings, how to sort them out, what's going on, what we need to look at, what we need to let go. So this must be my pile of lover girls or lover boys, because this song, Shakira's song with Cardi B, Punteria, is coming through. That song means aim. They're talking about how some man's aim is like really good. It's very suggestive, very raunchy, but that's not what's coming through. What's actually coming through is the visual, the video for that. I love it. I love everything about that song. I love Cardi B. I love Shakira. We stand Shakira and Cardi B in this channel, but there's centaurs running all over the place because centaurs are known for having a bow and arrow. And of course, that makes me think of several things like Cupid's arrow, but also the aim that they have. But centaurs also make me think of Chiron, which is the healer of the gods in Greek mythology, as well as an asteroid within astrology. So we're definitely doing a lot of healing here. Possibly because of the heart, possibly because some of you are wondering about your love life, especially if you're single, but even if you're not single, I feel like the unknown here that you want to know about is either like a future person coming in, if there is any. That's not going to be everybody, of course, and that's not going to be my focal point within this reading. I want to let you know that, but I may speak about it and I may allude to it if it comes up within the energy that is being presented to me. But the card you chose is number 14, the unknown, void, quest, and calling. Some of you are really wondering what your life purpose is. And for a lot of you, I feel like you're wondering if it involves having somebody else, because relationships and marriage and everything of that sort really is an option nowadays, especially if you're a woman. Like, you no longer need a man in your life to be successful or to even lead a very fulfilling life. So there's a feeling here that some of you are just you just want to know what's going on, is what I'm hearing. Like, you're really just open for anything and everything, and I like that. I really like that energy to start off pile 2. So let's go ahead and get your oracles. You got 2 of the alchemy cards. We have Jupiter, which is funny because it made me think of Sagittarius, and of course centaurs make me think of Sagittarius. That song's just stuck in my head. And sublimation. Ooh, I love this. I love this. Now I'm hearing Princess Purple Rain. Maybe some of you just really like music. But also with this rainbow, some of you could be of the LGBTQ community. Hello, welcome, and thank you. You are very much loved here. We have 40, love unabashedly. Yeah, like I said, this is my pile of lover boys and lover girls, and I feel like you enjoy being in relationships, but some of you might be questioning whether it's all worth the fuss. There's no shame here whether you want one or don't want one. I feel like it's definitely a point of contention, or your feelings may get a little wrapped up in that whole notion of wanting a partnership. We also have cozy up with risk. And yeah, these are my lover boys and lover girls. What can I say? You want to cozy up with risk. Some of you might have a habit of wanting to get with people that you know are not great for you, because in that song, Punteria, I'm going back to that song, I hope there's a translated version of it, or like one with lyrics translated already, because it literally just came out yesterday or the day before, I can't remember. But they say, you're not good for me, but I forget about that from my bed to yours. That's the rough translation of one of the lyrics. So yeah, I feel like some of you know that you have a bad habit of either getting into from relationship into relationship, or just not being with the right people, but only because you kind of like the fun of it. Like, you may only like them for the physical aspect or for whatever it is that they give you. Maybe they take you on really great dates, or they might have a lot of money, but you don't really focus on what exactly it is that your heart wants here when it comes to a person. We also have illumination. I feel like that goes with sublimation. Some of you really just need to let some light in. It's very simple. And I wish it wasn't that simple, because it seems kind of like no duh, but like, I feel like some of you just really need to open up that crown chakra space. Let the light flow through you. Let the light in. Let the light allow you to see through people. Like, I really don't mean to sound a certain way, but that's just the energy I'm getting. Like, your guides are like and maybe your friends are too, they kind of just want you to stop seeing life through rose-colored glasses, or at the very least your romantic partners through rose-colored glasses, or even the idea of a relationship through rose-colored glasses. I feel like some of you may have gone out with people that aren't really your type, or just really weren't that great. Like, they could have been better, they could have done better, but you decided to settle for them just because you wanted to be in a relationship, or because you wanted somebody, or again, maybe they just gave you something that you really enjoyed at the time, whatever that was. There's a feeling here that you just like to be in relationships. You like to be in relationships, but it's not always healthy for you. I am going to read from the book for sublimation because I want to learn a little bit more about this. But with Jupiter, you are very happy-go-lucky. You can see the positive in anything, and that's great. I feel like this is part of the reason people really like you. I feel like you have a lot of friends and people love to give you advice, especially for those of you who have a little bit more of a youthful energy. Regardless of what age you are, that youthful energy stays within you because you embrace it, and because this Jupiter energy will just make anybody feel and seem youthful even well into old age. So it's like people want to take care of you. People want to give you good advice. People want to watch out for you because you seem to take a lot of risks, not just with people, but also in general. Maybe you take on risky ventures, or you may have a career that can seem risky, especially for somebody of whatever your particular background is. Like, for example, if you're a woman, you might like certain fields that are more risky, or if you're like I'm being shown a reporter, like you just like to go to the things that are exciting or that excite you, but people see that as risky. Or maybe another example I'm being shown, maybe you're a very tiny person, but you like very physical, hard labor, and people see that as risky. It's like, oh no, watch out, you're tiny and delicate. I'm saying that as somebody that's considered tiny and delicate myself. People are always watching out for me. It doesn't matter who it is, doesn't matter what I'm doing. They're always willing to help out. But the truth is, I kind of like that. I like the physical action of the things I do. So it's that kind of energy. You're very happy-go-lucky and you have great positive energy, but people can be a little bit, not condescending, but a little overprotective of you because of this. But let me go ahead and read from the book for sublimation. So we have elevation, rising, flight. Sublimation is the great alchemical operation of air. It occurs when there is enough heat to change a solid substance into gas, causing it to rise up, and away. Therefore, when sublimation is present, there is an aspect of celebrated elevation, of ascending above and gaining a greater perspective. Birds in flight, mountain peaks, ladders, and balloons are all sublimation images. As with all the operations, sublimation has a shadow potential. Through ascension, there is a risk of separating from others, of sensing oneself higher or above. The risk is particularly great in spiritual traditions that offer a linear model of achievement. The divine alchemist rises humbly and supports the upliftment of others, always in touch with the cycle of humanity. Service is the natural balancing agent for sublimation. It may be the next rung on your ladder. Very interesting. There's a feeling here that you kind of lose yourself in relationships, but not the way you think. Like the conventional way of looking at that is that you lose yourself in the relationship, you become like your person, or you put all your energy and effort into that relationship. This could also be with friendships, by the way, or partnerships, or with people that you're just very, that you have a very strong bond to. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic relationships, but that's like the easiest example for me to explain. So you lose yourself in relationships and you become part of it. You become part of this thing. Or within that relationship, you lose yourself as well. You rise above it, and then you no longer resonate with it, or it becomes stale, stagnant, stifling. It holds you back. It's like you get into relationships just to process that energy and then ascend to the next level or move on to the next person. And there's nothing wrong with that. I've seen this a lot, especially with people who are very intuitive or very multidimensional. We tend to do this. And again, there's nothing wrong with it, but sometimes, how do I describe this? You're meant to love unabashedly. You're meant to just keep loving and loving until you can love no more, is what I'm hearing. Don't worry about the labels that you put on relationships. Don't worry about whether you're going to have somebody or not. This love is all one love. In fact, that is another Shakira lyric from a song. What's the song? Las de la Intuición. those it translates roughly to those of intuition, those who have intuition. And it's interesting because that video itself is another really good Shakira video. I'm going to describe it, but if you want to go look it up, I might link the videos here because not all her videos are great, but some of them are just on point. She's wearing a purple wig, which is third eye energy, which is intuition. But there's also like, I think they clone her and she's dancing like with all her clones, which is just, reflections of herself. You could see that as reflections of yourself as well, where you see a little bit of yourself within every person. So it's like you get into relationships so that you can learn a little bit more and more about yourself. And one of the lyrics in that song is, love sometimes is just one big long love. If that makes sense. It makes more sense in Spanish. So I don't know if there's a translation out there for that. I need to listen to Shakira after I'm done with this because I'm on a thing. She has inspired a lot of what I am, including a lot of my spiritual stuff, believe it or not. But regardless, you are meant to just keep loving. Like, let that heart chakra space open. Let there be a list of lovers. There's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, ask yourself why you're getting into all these connections. Do you really need one? It's like, I feel like you yourself are trying to figure this out. Let me go ahead and get cards from the Prism Oracle to see what other emotions are coming through here. Illumination also lets me know, just tap more into that light that you call down. Meditate more. Anytime you are about to get into a relationship, it's never about the once you're in, it's about right before you get into it. It's the potential you see in people, and it's the, for some of you, it might be the crush phase. Ask yourself why you're being drawn to that person. I feel like you would learn a lot more about that whole aspect of relationships than the actual relationship, because the actual relationship is something more solid and maybe something a little bit more trickier to navigate. But don't be afraid to have relationships that don't really have any label to them. Like, I'm not saying I'm encouraging situationships here, but even those I feel are more transformative for you than actual committed relationships. Again, this is just advice from somebody on YouTube who reads tarot cards. This is not, professional advice. And of course, do take this as it resonates. But like I said, you like to live on the wild side when it comes to love, and there's a reason for that. Let's get your emotions that we need to focus on here. We have comfort. Yeah, when you get too comfortable in something, it becomes uncomfortable for you, which is very odd. We also have energy. Yeah, you are definitely a person who deals with energy pile too. Sorry, my voice is weird. It's like I was trying to say 4 things at once. You are an energy worker, or you know about energy. You know how to feel it. You know how to deal with it. You are the kind of person who walks into a room and you can feel energies. Or if people are acting a certain way, you feel their energies. Yeah, if you're ever around a certain person and you start like feeling down to their heartbeat, you're an energy person. Or sometimes you get around somebody and you get anxious. Sometimes that's not even your anxiousness, that's theirs. And maybe some of you aren't aware of this yet, or you don't know how to handle that energy yet. And if so, I definitely encourage you to find the proper resources. I can't name most of them. I've had to go through several channels of learning how to deal with this. And I feel like what you need to learn will come to you when you need it, when you are ready to learn it in the right way, in the right time, at the proper price. So just take that if it resonates. But you definitely deal with energy pile too. And mystery. I'm hearing Sufjan Stevens' Mysteries of Love, which is funny because I think that song is from a movie dealing with two, but I've never seen it, but I know it's the soundtrack about 2 men in love. So maybe there is, the LGBTQ community is here today, or some of you could swing like any certain way. So regardless. Yeah, because something about, and like I'm clearly not a gay man myself, but the way I hear gay men talk about their relationships, they can literally have like 4 situationships go on within a week. I don't know how they do it. My respects. And as I said, that something fell on my roof. That is weird. Hopefully that it's okay. Hopefully it's just a little animal and it's okay. So yeah, regardless, My respect to the LGBTQ community that dates way more than the heteronormative couples do. So let me see back at the deck. Sweetness. Sweetness came out in pile 1 as well. I think the core of all of these piles today is going to be sweetness. We all just want to feel better about ourselves. But with comfort, once you get too comfortable in a situation, you feel that it's time to go. But the thing is, you're supposed to feel comfortable and comfortable. But you, pile 2, you're not like that. I feel people think you're a little bit weird for that, but that's okay. We love you here anyway. Ask yourself why you fear comfort. I feel like some of you don't know what it's like to be in a long-term committed relationship that is really meant to last, or you don't know how to make yourself comfortable with the notion that somebody could love you in every way, shape, form, at any time of day, however you look, whenever it is, like, not whenever, wherever, come on. Too much Shakira coming through today. I didn't expect her to, but that's okay because I love her. But yeah, there's a feeling here that you just need to learn to be comfortable, mostly with yourself. I feel like the best relationship you will ever have here is with yourself. And once you're comfortable with that, you will call in the person that is meant for you. Because if you still have stuff to go through and to grow through, I'm not saying that you're not deserving of love, but like, you will feel better when you are in a connection knowing yourself entirely, or at the very least like 99% of yourself, and that 1% can be explored by your other person should you want that. With energy, like I said, you guys deal with energy. Energy is very important. Always pay attention to the energy that somebody gives you when you first meet them, or when you're dating them, or even like what goes on when you're near them. For example, sometimes I talk to people from my past, and I'll notice that certain things that only happened with them start happening like for that one day after I speak to them. It's very odd. For example, I used to get a lot of migraines, and after I became single for an extended period of time, the migraine stopped. And it was odd because it had been so long since like I stopped seeking love within somebody. So for those few weeks or months, however long it was, I had no migraines because I wasn't seeking that from anybody else. But then I had a conversation with one of those people from my past, and boom, migraine the very next day. So that was like a sign that my own body was telling me that, yeah, that person has energy that you don't need. And honestly, that person's energy just gives you a migraine. So if there was any notion within myself that I wanted to go back to that person, that was confirmation from the universe. And the universe does talk to me through my own body. Maybe that's the same for you, pile 2. And letting me know that I didn't need to go back to that. With mystery, you're meant to unpack mysteries of love here. Do listen to that song. This pile has a great playlist, by the way. Like all the songs that I've been calling out in this pile are all bangers. Like I love them. I might make myself a playlist of all these songs. But you love to unpack a mystery. I feel like you're definitely somebody that likes to dive deeply into people's emotions, what makes them work, what makes them tick. And this might be part of the reason you like relationships. You like to figure people out. You like to know how they are. You're genuinely interested in certain people, how they operate, how it is that they do things. You love to tap into their history. You love to see how they work. Like you love to observe the people you love. And I feel like that's very cute. It is giving me like Venus in Scorpio or Scorpio energy in general, but you don't have to be this. But I feel like for you, loving somebody means knowing everything about them, including their deepest, darkest fears, including knowing them better than themselves. But the thing is, not everybody wants that. And once you do figure out everything about them, I feel like you get back to this sense of comfort, and then you start feeling too comfortable and then you leave. So I'm not saying that you're a man-eater or something here, but it's definitely like you've learned everything you have to learn here. Let me move on to the next thing. And I'm not saying that to be mean or anything, but that is the energy that is coming through. And this is just because you deal in energy. This is your language. This is how you operate. There's nothing wrong with this. I can tell some of you feel guilty about this or burdened. Like there's guilt and burden and annoyance, maybe even frustration with this thing. Not so much with yourself or people. It's like with this whole situation. It's like, why do I feel this way? Why do I have to keep being like this? Like some of you might be tired of cozying up with risk, but you can't help it. You feel compelled to be drawn to things that you don't know. But this is part of how you love humanity. You just want to dive deeply into people and heal them or read them. And yeah, you're a healer, pile 2. You're a healer. So it's not like you're just using them. Honestly, you definitely lift these people up. You impact them on a much deeper scale than you are aware or that they'll ever tell you. I feel like they themselves don't realize the inner growth that they've had just being with you. Or maybe they do. Maybe it shows up to them on a more physical plane or in a more concrete sense. But for you, if you were to read the energy of some of your ex-lovers and see how you played part in that, you would be so proud of yourself for leading them through a very difficult aspect of their life or through something that they would have never really been to had they not known you. Yeah, the mystery and unknown here. You let them sublimate into something better, all because of your unabashed love. And the sweetness, I feel like you really are sweet. You just don't see it because you're your biggest, you criticize yourself the most. You're your own worst critic. That's what I wanted to say. But just keep loving, pile 2. This is what you're meant to do. Not saying that you have to be in a relationship, not saying that you have to go from person to person. Do take the time you need to be yourself and to love yourself. But there's a feeling here that you shouldn't feel ashamed for having so many lovers. And in some cases, it might be friendships that you've outgrown. I feel like some of you find it very easy to outgrow certain friendships. But let's move on to the tarot. These readings today are amazing. For you, I am using the Cozy Witch Tarot. Yes, no? No, I'm using the Prism Tarot. Okay, so you're not the Cozy Witch. I probably will use it to clarify this because I'm only getting 3 cards or 3 placements for 3 specific aspects of your healing and figuring out these emotions or explaining why these emotions are here. So for my pile 2, we have the 3 of raindrops, the 3 of cups, community. You're meant to help the collective, pile 2. This is very odd, but something about a third-party situation. If you ended up being the side person in that situation, or the one that didn't get chosen somehow, do know that your energy, whatever happened with you, it did also shift that other third party. I feel like you healed them in a very odd way, whether you're aware of that or not, especially if that person who strayed from their partner went back to them. I know that that's a very weird message and it might suck to hear it too. I feel like you may have strengthened their relationship, but that's just, healing them in your own way. Take that only if it resonates. That's a hard thing to hear. But yeah. Okay, that was odd. But you are meant to heal the collective. Oh, this happened in the last pile too. We got 2 cards, the High Priestess and the 8 of Swords, self-victimization. Like I said, some of you feel burdened by your intuition or your psychic ability or your ability to perceive energy and shift it. You feel a victim of it or that you're not allowed to do certain things because of it. Some of you feel like because of this, it's hard for you to find a partner or find people that resonate with you. And that might be true. But the thing is, you deserve only the best, pile 2. The universe is not just going to give you somebody who's going to take this ability for granted. I hope you understand that. So even if it takes you longer than you want to find the person that or the people that are meant for you, know that this is because of divine timing. This is because you deserve only the best, and the best is worth waiting for. I hope you understand that. So the universe is kind of apologizing for having you wait this long, but you deserve only the best, and you deserve only the fully healed people or people who will work along with you with your abilities to get something amazing out of this life. Okay. And then for the third section, this is the Page of Pentacles, skill development. I feel like I said, some of you could benefit from learning how to deal with energy, how to tap into your intuition. I feel like some of you already have, and you will probably always do this. I feel like you're somebody who likes to invest in your education regardless. Like you could invest in, like, for example, if you're a doctor, you could go back to school every few years to keep learning new things about your field. But in this case, we're talking about energy and intuitive knowledge. So some of you might be intuitive people. For example, if you're a tarot reader, you might decide, okay, I want to start learning about the chakras. Okay, I want to learn all about the runes. Okay, let me tap into channeling, into divination. Like, you're going to be learning all the time because this is your passion. And likewise, like I said, you do this with partners too, or at the very least in one big chapter of your life, you did this with romantic partners, where you learned as much as you could about humanity through the kind of people you dated or allowed in your life. Skill development here. I really like this. This is the Page of Pentacles. And this is something you will do throughout your life. It won't always be at that capacity though. It might shift. It might be something different. You're an eternal learner, which is funny because I typically see this as like a Page of Swords energy. But in this case, Page of Pentacles, because it's meant to be long lasting. All right, let's clarify. Oh, back to the deck energy. Novice, Page of Wands, exploration. Yeah, you love to explore. You love to seek a mystery and figure it out, but on a very subconscious, emotional, spiritual level. All right, yeah, let's clarify this. With the Cozy Witch Tarot, since you're afraid of comfort, let's get cozy. So to clarify the Three of Cups. Oh, okay, you got two cards. We have the Four of Swords, rest. Why aren't you resting? Yeah, some of you could use more sleep. Some of you, I do take the Four of Swords to mean meditation. It's like sitting in meditation, sitting in silence, laying down in meditation as well. I lay down to meditate because I feel the energy so heavily that if I was to stand or sit, I feel like it wouldn't reach me as strongly. But that could just be because I like to channel very intensely. So take that as it resonates. If you do lie down when meditating, make sure you don't fall asleep. And you could do this by putting like a very weird pillow that you know you can't fall asleep on, or doing a very resting yoga pose. Like I like to put my feet together in a cobbler's pose, but laying down, or maybe with the knees up as well. I don't know, but do something so that you know you won't fall asleep. And if you fall asleep easily, just do it on a chair. And then we have 10, good luck charm. If nothing seems to be going your way, cast a spell. This is the Wheel of Fortune. Some of you could deal with spell work, but I feel like in a good way. Like the closest thing I do to this is I like to bless everything I come across. So I'll just be driving or walking and I'll just start sending blessings to everything and everyone, especially the things that I hate, especially the people that I do not like. I'm like, man, I really don't like that person. Let me just bless them because I don't want to deal with that and I don't want them near me. You know, it's weird. And within that blessing, it means they go away from me for some reason. I don't know. Maybe that's not something about me. But regardless, there's a feeling here that some of you could really benefit from blessing the things you don't like, because that's just part of how you elevate the community. Yeah, maybe especially the people you don't like. Third party stuff keeps coming back. I feel like you're the kind of person, if like your partner's ex comes through or they try to say something, instead of hating them, you just always thank them for making your partner the person they are now, or you thank them for letting them go. I feel like you're that kind of person. But this is actually great stuff for you to do. All right, let's clarify this. This is the trickiest energy for me, is the feeling victimized by your intuition. This could also be seen as you refusing to see your intuition. Some of you could be afraid of tapping into that. And that's fair. When you get into this ability, into this level, you have to go through a lot of emotional baggage. You have to let go of a lot of really nasty things within your past and or your aura. And I don't like describing it. It's one of the more intense things you'll ever have to go through, but it's worth it because you get this amazing connection to the divine. But let me go ahead and clarify this. We have two, the High Priestess again. When in doubt, your first gut feeling can always be trusted. And look, she's even got little crystals and the tarot cards and a little familiar little animal here. Some of you could have a pet that you like to do spiritual stuff with. Like maybe you help them cleanse their chakras, or maybe they're around whenever you need intuitive hints and they'll like give you an inspirational hit somehow by like knocking something over or acting a certain way. I was like this with my first dog. She's still like this, I'm sure, but my sister or my family aren't really aware of this. And she's a Pisces of all things. I mean, Pisces dog is very intuitive. But I used to practice Reiki on her by putting crystals on her chakras, and she would love it. She would just lay there and take it in. She'd be like, "Yes, I love this." But I would also bless her, like I would put her in a bubble of light. I've done this with dogs a lot. I put them in bubbles of light so that they can heal or so that they can feel at peace. The extent to which that works, though, will vary depending on what other energies are attached to that dog. Because she was my family dog, not everything would work because she still carried the energies of everybody else in that household. But when she was alone with me, I felt like it really worked. So some of you might use an animal for this. And even though we don't approve of animal lab testing here at Hazel Lucia Tarot, you could always do cute little tarot readings for them. Really do that. My sister used to do this as well. I wish she still did, but she would set up the cards and put a treat, like the same treat on each one. And then our dog would go for one, and that would be her card of the day. It was just something very cute. Yeah, some of you could use your pets for this. And I know there's some tarot readers on YouTube, some channels that have pets, and their pets will do funny, silly things, especially those cats. I'm not a cat person. I've never had one, but I love the cats of these tarot readers on YouTube because they crack me up. They really do. And they're very intuitive too. But regardless, you're meant to choose your intuition above all else, pile 2. You're meant to do great things with your intuition. Do not fear it. Don't think that because you somehow see it as a burden that that's what it is. It's not. It's a very beautiful gift that you're meant to work hard for. And then to clarify the Page of Pentacles. The Three of Wands. Put yourself out there and you'll be rewarded one way or another. Yeah, this is all meant to be very rewarding. It's a lifelong path of learning how to tap into your intuition. Not saying that you won't ever master it, but even once you master it, you'll continue doing this. Like, I feel like you feel no boundary when it comes to learning the expansion of your spirituality. You could have, this is like Sagittarius in the 9th house or Scorpio in the 9th house. I feel like mine is both. I can't remember for sure. But this means that we go maximalist when it comes to spirituality. I feel like you're the same way, Pile, too. Or something akin to that. You could also have Jupiter in Sagittarius or Jupiter in any of the water signs, which will also be intuition. And for some reason, Sagittarius is a very intuitive sign for me. I'm not sure why that is, but you could also have Neptune in Sagittarius as well. I know the generation before me had this. So hello. Thank you for being here. And then back of the deck energy, the 8 of Wands. Light a fire underneath your cauldron and go, go, go. This is a very odd message. Well, it's not odd. It's just something I feel the need to keep saying. Intuition is actually very quick. Intuition will guide you on how to speak, especially when it comes to the tone of voice you're supposed to have or the way you're supposed to convey messages. That's why when I say this, anytime we talk about this, I slow down a little bit because some people don't want to believe it. But intuition is actually very quick. It's very soft, it's very healing, it's very gentle, but it's very quick. Sometimes it can feel a little bit urgent, but not overly alarming. It doesn't yell, but it's very urgent, you know? It's like, hey, we got something to do. But it's calm. So yeah, this is how your intuition is. I forget how many seconds you have to wait for intuition to come through. I think I've heard like the first 3 seconds up to the first 10 seconds, and anything after that you're tapping into ego or your memory bank or whatever here. But intuition is very fast. But yeah, the guide to figuring out your emotions and what's going on with them essentially is your intuition. Essentially, it's what I'm doing now. And if this wasn't the message you wanted to hear, you could choose the other 3 piles. I feel like all of them are going to have something amazing for you to hear, pile 2. But in this particular pile, you needed to know that your intuition is somehow tied to your relationships with people, especially the people that are attached to you romantically, and or a soulmate person, should you want one, should you want to have that. It's actually an option. You have plenty of people eligible for this. It's an option. Should you choose that? Should you choose what you want to do? And in some cases, you might have multiple. Let's face it, some of us may be married more than once. So you do have several soulmates out there waiting for you. It just depends on where you are in life, where you are in the world, what you want to do with it, and what you're meant to create with that person. But let's go ahead and move on to the closing advice. So I'm going to use several decks because I just wanted to go all out for this reading. Let's start with the ritual deck. I think this is my first oracle deck. I think every deck before that was just a tarot deck. But I love it because I don't really do rituals anymore, but these are physical things you can use to help heal this particular area of your life right now. You have the solar plexus, activation, independent, and willpower. So confidence is key here. You have to be very confident that you will be able to overcome what you need to overcome, especially when it comes to your intuition. Be confident that you will overcome the fear you have of it, as well as being able to overcome the fear of comfort. And within that, the fear of loving. We have South, challenge, endurance, and overcoming. Some of you could live in the southern hemisphere or the south of something central to wherever it is that you live. And again, solar plexus energy is coming through. So we're definitely dealing with confidence here, with power, with that which gives us the ability to stand within our power. Some of you could literally be healing the solar plexus, and this is like the ability to believe that you are worth something as well. So definitely do a lot of solar plexus clearing. You could listen to that frequency. There's plenty of binaural beat videos here on YouTube. You could also eat foods that are beneficial to the solar plexus. I know turmeric is one of them. I think mangoes, basically yellow foods, but also anything good for the digestive system, should you want to look at it more physically. And then we have an angel, guardian angel card. For my pile 2. This is regardless of whether you believe in guardian angels, of course. We're just looking into the advice that the card has to offer. Expression. Express how you feel clearly, lovingly, and honestly without fear or judgment. Say it exactly like it is. All will be resolved when you express to others how you truly feel. Trust in the power of life to guide you and heal all concerned. Self-expression is liberating and healing. Yeah, don't be afraid to say the things you need to say. Also, sacral chakra energy is coming through now because these are all, it's funny, it's going from yellow to orange. And not all the cards in this deck are orange, by the way. I know it may seem like that, especially if you came from pile 1, because that card was also orange. A card from the Letting Go deck. You have this card. She's got a look of love in her eyes. Or at least that's how I'm seeing it right now. Stand in a garden and be thought-free for just a moment. This is meditation. Be thought-free for a moment. Allow thoughts to come to you and allow them to let go. Acknowledge that they're there and acknowledge that that's just a thought. It doesn't have to be yours, but you can claim it if you want. And then I'm hearing 3 cards from the Cupid Says Oracle. Typically, this is like a love oracle, but this is more a self-love oracle for you in this reading today. My pile 2. This was meant to be, yeah, it's your calling to tap into your emotions, to tap into your intuition, possibly to anything that I've said within this particular pile. I don't remember all of it. I zone out a little bit when I'm channeling this intensely. Yeah, I've already forgotten a lot of it. It's kind of weird. Also, yeah, some of you were meant to have a person in your life that is going to change you for the better, a soulmate, if you will. But only if you want to claim it. It was meant to be, but you don't have to accept it. You still have will of choice. You still have, yeah. I just want to know why. Some of you want to know why this is your calling, but like, it's pretty cool. I mean, don't you want to be intuitive? I don't know, I'm just saying. And then the third one, or I guess 4. Let's see, perhaps. Yeah, some of you are on that, you don't know whether to accept this calling or not. I'm not here to tell you whether you should or not, pile 2. I am just a tarot reader on YouTube. I mean, I have no, I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I can tell that you're undecided about a lot of these things. We also have stop asking. Maybe some of you have a bad habit of like asking a lot of tarot readers, going from reading to reading, or going from psychic to psychic, life coach to life coach. It could also be asking whether you're meant to have somebody in your life or not. Again, the love thing, the lover boy, lover girl energy is coming through. Yeah, stop asking and just feel. Let it be. Be in whatever energy you are now. It's all great. But this is where I leave you, pile two. Sorry if this was a little bit all over the place, but this was a very fun pile to read for. Let me know if any of this resonated if you want. And if you feel like doing so, you can like and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile three. If you chose the Black Moonstone and this card, Self Inquiry, number 15, we have your reading here for you about your emotions, dealing with them, sorting them through, and really tapping into what's going on here and how you can get a better handle of what it is that you are going through and or feeling. But the card we have here is very interesting because I was tuning into this energy, this reading, and some of you are coming face to face, quite literally, with some aspect of yourself that you're seeing either within somebody else, like a partner, or even just doing a lot of very deep internal self-reflection about how you are, why you are. And I feel like those feelings are a little conflicted. And there's no shame here. I'm just letting you know this is going to be quite a deep reading. I may call you out on some things, but that's okay. This is part of the reason we're here. You're here because you want to grow. You're here because you want to be a better person. And I applaud you. Your ancestors, your spirit guides, the universe applauds you if this is what you want. So we're going to go ahead and look at your oracles to get a view of what exactly is going on here. But already I know it's going to be self-reflection and seeing parts of yourself within either people or even situations that you may not have wanted to see. But the card says, number 15, self-inquiry, reflection, purpose, and individuation. You could be asking yourself about your life purpose. And some of you might be wondering, I'm hearing if you're different than everybody else. If you're talking about a family, if you're different from your family, it's yes. And it could be quite literally, you might have different blood than them, but maybe you already knew that. And then if it's energetically, definitely. You are like nobody else in your family. You are very different because you're meant to bring about change within your family. You could be the oldest of your siblings or your lineage of like whatever generation you are. You could also be just different, like maybe even just the way you look. Even if your genetics are the same, even if you have the same parents, you might just look different or feel different. I don't know, but there's something about differences here. And maybe seeing a reflection of that is kind of somehow, I'm hearing startling you, not so much triggering, but more like startling, because triggering implies that you're having a hard time of it, but I don't think that's really the case. It's more like you're finally recognizing something different about yourself that is actually good. Maybe some of you for a long time really try to fit in or try to stay, what's the saying, par the course? You try to stay in line with everybody else, but you were not meant for that, pile three. As I say that, the winds are going really crazy. It's been a very windy time right now, but like, I love how the wind picks up when I say certain things. But let's look at your oracles. We have the peacock's tail. I want to say that's 55. We also have benevolent guide. Yeah, this is what you're meant to be, a benevolent guide. If not to yourself, then maybe to others. The fact that we have two rainbows, rainbows mean several things to me. They can mean LGBTQ community. So if you are part of that and that resonates, take it, but you do not have to be. But it also means, which meaning are we going with here? Because I am seeing the 10 of Cups, emotional fulfillment. So some of you may have some trouble finding satisfaction emotionally within situations or maybe even within your own life. Another thing I'm seeing, yeah, I just keep being shown 10 of Cups energy. So let's keep it there until something else pops up. We also have take the opportunity, number 34. Befriend the word polarize. Yeah, some of you are different, but I feel like some of you are tired of having to apologize for your differences or for those things that make you unique. Like, you're about to get really weird, pile three, in front of other people, not just in front of your closest friends and family. You're about to get really weird in front of the public or people that you consider like colleagues or something, because you need to show this part of yourself in order to be very authentic to your life purpose, to yourself, and to those people who are meant to be in your life. I'm hearing, especially if you date, don't be afraid to be your most honest self. Don't be afraid to weird them out, because it will not scare off people that are truly meant for you. I'm not saying be like, don't make it awkward, but don't be afraid to really speak your truth. If you're psychic and you want to go out with somebody, let them know. prove it to them. I feel like the opportunity will show itself for you to prove it to them too. So don't think it's going to be forced. This has happened with me where I told somebody that I work with energy. Quite literally, I made the energy around me shift people and make them go away. It was very interesting. And when he saw it, he was like, okay, this is legit. I've had a lot of instances like that, and I feel like you will too. This is only if you want to date, or even with friends. I feel like even with friends or new people that come into your life, this is going to be the case. We also have passion. Yeah, you're passionate about whatever it is that you were born with. And I feel like this is how you know that you're different. Some of you could have been either diagnosed or even misdiagnosed with some sort of autism because you had an obsession with some particular thing. Know that that's not typically the case. I'm not a professional, but I feel like sometimes they misdiagnose autism because somebody is obsessed with a very particular thing. For you, pile 3, you can take it or leave it, but that's part of your calling. It's part of your calling. Let's say you've always been obsessed with tarot since you were like a baby child, but you've always, like, that was your calling and you do it now, and that's like your main thing. That wasn't some weird thing about you. That was just your passion. That was your life calling. But with the Peacock's Tail and Benevolent Guide, both let me know that it is your time to shine. It is your time to be in the spotlight. It is your time to really show people what you're made of and what it is that you want. And, well, not want. What you want out of life and what you want to see out of people. Not for yourself, but for the greater good. Because what I'm being shown is like a teacher who wants her students to do well, not because it's going to look good on her job, but because these students need to be smart and need to be prepared to move on to the next grade or whatever it is that they're supposed to do. It's that kind of mentality that is being given here. I am going to read from the book for the both of these cards. But something about you not being your truest self, and you're seeing it reflected somewhere. I'm not sure if you have just gotten into the tarot YouTube bubble and maybe you're seeing some aspect of yourself within all of these readers and you're questioning it, or maybe you resonate with it. I know that's how I felt whenever I first tapped into some of these tarot readers. I felt like, oh wow, finally they're saying what I've always known and what I've always thought. It's that kind of feeling. You may also be finding your people here. Like you may be finding your soul family, a group of friends that is really going to resonate with you. And it might be triggering at first. You may not want to be, I'm hearing, accepted by them, but you may not want to accept them either. That's kind of weird, where you don't want to be accepted by a group because you feel that you're not them, but the truth is you are, and once you're there, it feels comfortable. But let's start with the Peacock's Tail. Full vision, the spectrum, inclusivity. What did I say? You're going to be part of this. The Peacock's Tail is a sacred image in alchemy. The mesmerizing display of tail feathers opens up to mark the alchemist having shifted from single to multi-perspective. This is a great achievement. The alchemist has opened 1,000 sets of eyes instead of one. They have discarded black and white thinking and allowed the full spectrum of colors, nuances, and solutions to come into the fold. Creative solutions to complex social and political polarities can be found in this sacred space. Yeah, I feel like you're really finding a new way of seeing the collective, and the collective is going to see you, if that makes sense. You're not going to be afraid to be part of something bigger. Again, whoever these people, or maybe one particular person, are, they're reflecting something to you. They're reflecting something to you that makes you feel both like you're not alone and maybe that you're not that special. But the truth is you are. Just because you're very similar to somebody else doesn't mean you're not special, pile 3. But it definitely means that you can put your own spin on it. It's like when musicians come together, you know, they are all very talented and they can all play music. Not one is better than the other. In fact, when they all combine, they can make something really amazing. That's the example I'm being shown. Let me go ahead and read the Benevolent Guide. Inner voice, guide, and ally. Oh, how easy it is to doubt the presence of the Spiritus Rector. The alchemist, falling into a moment of forgetfulness, feels alone in the laboratory and begins to doubt their work. Disarray and discontent follow. Who do I listen to? Where do I turn for guidance? All the while, the Benevolent Guide hovers close, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be heard amidst the noise of the world. It whispers words of kindness and encouragement into the ears of the alchemist. When this card appears, it asks us to recall the guidance we have received at important junctures in our life. The benevolent presence is constant, not conditional. Now is not the time for struggle or fear. Soften into the gentle humming of the wise bee. You cannot make a wrong choice when the Spiritus Rector is near. I am reading this two ways. I didn't want to say it very literally like the book says, where you have guides around you and you're tapping into them, or you're allowing them to help you go to where you need to go, do what it is that you need to do, or just know the things you need to know. I saw this more as you being a guide for people, but I feel like it all follows suit. Like the guides come to you and then you guide people. So some of you could be tapping into that energy. You could be dealing with a particular guide who was maybe you in a past life. Like some aspect of your spiritual self from the past is your own guide coming through. I feel that a lot, especially with astrology, because why do I have to say this? Okay, when I was in high school and I was taking, was it trig? Whatever math class it is that deals with angles and degrees, I aced that and I don't understand how. Because if you were to put all that in front of me, well, I wouldn't know if I could handle that or not. Because I feel like I had a guide do all of that for me. I cannot remember for the life of me what went on in that class. I just know that I passed it with flying colors. It's probably the only math class because astrology deals with angles and degrees. So I already knew all of those numbers from a previous life. Same thing when I was learning about, what is it, the Big Bang? It was some sort of science class. I slept through a lot of those lectures and I somehow knew everything. Those are my spirit guides coming through. The spirit guides that know of maths and sciences and past lives, they came through. And maybe you've had something similar, pile 3. I just felt the need to share that story. And I don't like to because I consider myself a great student who always paid attention and took notes. But when it came to those two things, I was not, and I still did better than when I did take notes. There's something here about the things that come to you automatically. Not always the things that are a passion, but they can be. But the things that come to you automatically, pay attention to them and see why. I feel like you get the most intuitive guidance through those exact things. With Take the Opportunity, you're going to be presented with certain opportunities because every time I see this card, I feel like things are going to come through for you to take up as a challenge or as a next step within your life. So there's a feeling of uncertainty here, whether you can take this or not. Spirit is saying yes, yes, 1,000 times yes, because whatever this is, you are meant for it. You're making yourself out to be way smaller than you are, pile 3. Like, you are predestined to do such great things, and some of you are in conflict with that. Again, if whatever you're seeing yourself in is something that is quite for example, let's say you see yourself in, like, I'm trying to think of an example, I guess a pop star like Taylor Swift or Beyonce. If you see aspects of yourself within people like that, you know, these very famous or even divine figures, know that that is an aspect of yourself you need to own up to. Not because of the ego, but because in accepting that, you will ascend to something greater. It's like, allow yourself to be inspired. Don't think that just because these people did this, that you're somehow not allowed to, or that you're not special enough to gain that kind of energy. All of these people were born regular human beings, just like you and me. But they took the steps to get there. And I get it. Some of them may have had the privileges to get there too, but that doesn't mean that you can't work yourself up there, or that you can't aspire to something very similar. I hope that's making sense. That's just the best example I could think of. But I am going to get more cards from the Prism Oracle just because I want to see what other emotions are coming through, because we already have passion. There's something here about the things you love. Maybe you're seeing yourself in the things you love as well, like some gifts that come to you very naturally, or some knowledge that comes to you very naturally. I feel like for a lot of you, it's knowledge. Like I said, the trig class that I took, it came to me naturally, and I hate math. I didn't even care for angles. I just know it came to me so naturally. I look back at that and wonder, how did I get through that class? I didn't even like the teacher. I hated her. She was very mean. But because I knew the subject matter so much, she liked me, or she put up with me. So it's that kind of mentality. Pay attention to the things that come naturally to you. All right, pile 3, we have movement. Yeah, you're being guided somewhere. It could be literally. You might be being asked to call you might be being called to go somewhere in particular. Somewhere that's going to feel like home. Somewhere that's going to feel right for you. Because you're not in an environment where you need that right now. Pain. Yeah, some of you are in a lot more pain than you're willing to admit. But you see yourself in this pain, or you're able to... I'm hearing like humble. You're seeing yourself in pain. We have reflection. I'm not surprised this card came out. When I saw this, I'm like, watch the reflection card come out. You're looking at yourself, looking at what you want, looking at what is resonating with you, what really makes you feel like you. And isolation. Some of you could be in a period of isolation, whether that's self-imposed or not, doesn't matter. You needed this period of isolation. I'm going to get one more for you, pile 3, because I really resonate with a lot of what's going on here for you. Cleanse. Don't be afraid to cleanse your energy. If you're somebody who deals with energy or just with people in general, don't be afraid to cleanse. Back of the deck, consciousness. I love these colors. I love all of this for you. And what's underneath that? Happiness? Yeah. You will eventually get the happiness you deserve. But pile 3. If you are in a current situation that you feel very restricted, or that your hands are tied behind your back, or that you somehow didn't ask for this, but yet here you are, it was meant for something. Look inward, do the self-reflection, look inward, because there's a reason that you're being isolated. Especially, it's like if you have just broken up with somebody and you realize you have no prospects around you for whatever, or you can't attract people, it's not you. You are still very much an attractive person. They're not being attracted to you, or they're not noticing you. I feel like they are attracted, but they're not approaching you, because you're meant to really be alone and look at yourself. I'm saying this as somebody who's been through it. Still kind of am going through it. There's a feeling here that you need to work through the pain. What is bringing you pain? What is making you uncomfortable here? Because that's going to cause you to move. But once you're done with this energy, you cleanse. And cleanse, I'm seeing as cleansing out the old remnants of past energies, whether those are friends, family, old jobs, old places. There's a feeling here that you really, really just need to do the energy work. You really just need to ascend, do the meditation, do the yoga. If this is more physical, do the workout. Like, you need to let go of something within your very being that is refusing to go. And that's the only way you're going to get it out. It's not going to be through you willing it away. You have to meditate or do the workout or do something here to get it out, because that's the only way you're going to alleviate this pain. The pain could be that of isolation. It could also be the pain of having to see yourself in a way you never thought you'd see yourself. Because this self-reflection is it's just so profound. It's like you're not just seeing your face, you're seeing all the pores, you're seeing through the skin, you're seeing all the fibers of the muscle, and like, it's very deep. And I feel like you get scared of what you see there. You get scared that you're somehow going to revert back to what you used to be, or that you will never become what you want to be. But you got to see yourself for what you are now. And this is this beautiful, angelic being that you truly are, full of potential, fertile with all the possibilities of the things you could ever be. Like, you're really at a great point in life where you can really choose the direction where you want to go. You're just not taking advantage of that, because you're too focused on the pain, or you're allowing the pain to settle in for longer than it should be. Because it's okay to feel pain, but don't allow yourself to be a home for it. But definitely cleanse makes me think of energetic cleanse. You could also just benefit from actually cleaning your home or cleaning your space, maybe showering more, but do it with an intention. Or maybe, I know Epsom salt baths are amazing if you can take those. But there's a feeling here that you're where you are right now because that's where you need to be. But the opportunities will arise. Take the opportunities right over isolation. So I feel like if you get the chance, go ahead and be alone. If you have to polarize people because of this, maybe you're no longer going out, or maybe you have to turn certain people down, that's okay. You need your you time, because you need to figure out what's going on within you. And I guess that's why you're at this reading, and I've already told you some of it. But the truth is, you want to pursue your passion. You want to be happy. Some of you believe that if you pursue your passion, you won't be, or that you will lose everything you have. And that's not the case at all. You were meant for this. You were meant to do exactly what you are doing that makes you happy. But some of you don't really believe it. But let's go ahead and move on to the tarot portion, because I'm very excited to see what this is. All of these readings have been really good, very profound, but we're really, really taking a look into what's going on with you. Not saying that there's anything wrong. It's more like, why do you feel this? For some of you, it's like an emptiness. If it's not isolation, maybe you live with children or you have a family, it's an emptiness, like this profound emptiness that you just cannot seem to fill, no matter what it is you do, no matter what it is that you see. If you have like that one hobby that you ask people to leave you alone about, it's probably that. If it's that one thing you spend maybe a little bit more money than you would like to, it might be that. But let's go ahead and look at your cards. We're using the Wild Unknown. Every deck has been having different, every reading has been having different decks because I'm just going with what feels right. And for you, pile 3, the Wild Unknown, this is one of my more psychic decks. Not sure why. This is just personally, I channel better with this one, and I feel like this is what I need for you. We have the 8 of Pentacles. You're really working hard at something, and you may not be seeing the fruition of it just yet, but it's coming. We also have Justice, balancing things out. Also with the Rainbow, again, it's that 10 of Cups energy, but it could also just be, what am I trying to think of? Completion? Rainbows can mean completion. It could also mean a reward, because I'm thinking of the pot of gold at the end of a rainbow, if you want to take that image. Because I don't want to say it's all LGBTQ, though of course that could also be the case, especially within this deck, because I think it's got like other flags of that spectrum. Let's see, what else can we get for my pile 3? I'm not surprised. The Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune is fate. Some of you are looking for what you are destined to do. And the things that make you happy are very much the things you are destined to do. Back of the deck, Strength. Yeah. Something here about you needing to be strong every day. It feels tiring at first, but it becomes very natural after a while, to the point where you realize you are strength itself. It's like, I'm being shown, why do I get Dragon Ball references? When Goku first goes Super Saiyan, and then he stops, but after a while, I forget when within that show, within Dragon Ball Z, he learns to live in Super Saiyan because he becomes so strong enough to handle it. At least I think that's how it went. Correct me if I'm wrong, those of you who know more than me. I'm very new to the show. But regardless, you're going to learn how to live in this strength energy. You're going to be strong enough to be there. This is mentally, emotionally, and energetically, of course. It could also be physically, but mostly you're going to learn how to be in this energy and learn how to hold this light, learn how to hold this space for a lot longer than you are used to it. It's like, I've known some people who are energy workers who just always live connected. Like, they're always connected. They do it all. Their intuition is always on. It's never off. They never turn it off. It's just always on. That's how I feel you're going to be, pile 3. And it's difficult at first because it is a lot to do. But what happens is that your life changes because only people of your vibration or higher, or people who want to change, can be in that energy. So it's naturally going to repel a lot of people and or things and or places that are just not meant for you. So even if you're currently in an environment where you do not like what's going on, know that you have the capacity to change. You will change. And if you can't leave there, the place will change because of you, or you will be a good key ingredient as to why that area is the way it is. It seems a little ridiculous, but I've literally seen this. When I leave certain places, they just don't feel the same because I realize that was the energy that I brought to that area or to that place. You see it more easily in the workplace where you naturally very physically influence a lot of what goes on. But this could also be, for example, a family home. I don't know if any of you have ever witnessed this, but if you ever went to grandma's house and then when she passed away and you still keep going to grandma's house, but it's somebody else's house now, maybe an auntie's or an uncle's or something, it just doesn't feel the same because your grandmother isn't there. And it wasn't just her physically being there, it was her energy. So it's that kind of feeling. Anyway, let me go ahead and clarify these. I'm trying to give you examples of what I mean because I really hope it's coming across well. We have death. Yeah. You're going to see when you finally reap the rewards of your hard labor, it's going to transform you. You have no choice but to transform. It's going to be a very easy transformation. Again, because you're going to be so used to that energy that it won't feel like a transformation. It will just feel like an obvious next step. It's that opportunity calling and you're going to take it. To clarify justice, we have the Three of Cups. You're going to be in a much happier energy. And like I said, you're calling in the people that are meant for you. Okay, this is too big. You're calling in your group of friends, your soul family, for some of you, it could be your soulmate if you're looking for one, or even just creating your own family. You're going to find true joy and happiness, but with other people, because the Three of Cups does let me know that there's other people involved. Other people are part of your destiny, and I'm not just talking about your soulmate, obviously. This could also be your children, your pets, your community. Some of you are going to end up living in a community that you truly love and vibe with. And not everybody gets to do that. You're not going to be one of those people who has neighbors that, you hate, or neighbors that are annoying. You're going to end up living somewhere where everyone around you, should you have anyone around you, some of you might have homes that are very far away from others, but you're going to be in a neighborhood where you really vibe with the people, whoever those people are. Like, I see neighbors being kind of like siblings who just come over and you guys have fun, or you go over to their house and there's always something going on. And I see if you have children, they could come in and out of your houses as well. It could quite literally be your family, like your actual blood family, because I have seen that as well. But there's definitely a feeling here that some of you will have neighborhoods you actually vibe with. And part of the reason will be because you're a key part of that neighborhood. Let me go ahead and clarify the Wheel of Fortune here for your fate. I got 3 cards. This happened, I think this has happened in every deck so far, where 3 cards just pop out when I'm trying to draw one. We have the High Sage, Intuition, 7 of Swords, 7 of Cups. You're going to be able to see through the lies and through the unclear options that you have with your intuition. I feel like this was meant to be like this. So 7 of Swords is deception. You're going to be able to spot deception right away, or people who are naturally good liars will disintegrate in front of you. Like, they will break down. I do this, and I don't know if I bring this person up a lot or not, but there is somebody I know. I don't consider them a friend, but somebody I know, and they lie, and they're really good at lying. Like, I notice it, and they kind of like to play me because I think they're kind of aware that I'm really good at spotting lies. I don't think they understand that I'm psychic or psychic-ish, but I like to do this. And every now and then I win and I catch them and I find their tick, but then they just get better. But I kind of like that dynamic. Like, I would definitely not allow this person into my personal life unless they decided to change or drop the act. But I like doing this with them. Learning to gauge my ability with their life because they're very good at it. And I feel like you're going to do something very similar, Pile 3. And this will be great, especially when it comes to those people in your life who use you. Because believe it or not, good liars are only good liars because they've been lied to. They've been lied to very well. They had to learn this from somewhere, likely their parents, likely a family member, maybe a boss that they really looked up to and trusted, or even maybe a romantic partner who deceived them so terribly. But there's definitely a feeling here that you're going to learn how to see through lies, and you're going to learn to look into people's souls. Some people will not like it. That's okay. They don't have to be around you. But you're going to command honesty, essentially. With the 7 of Cups, this is illusions. It can be options, which I feel like you will be getting better at making decisions in general, which is a great ability to have, especially if you are a Libra, because we do have the Justice card here. But you're going to get better at making decisions, at seeing through the illusion of certain choices you have, especially if like one choice seems like a better option, but your gut is telling you to go with another option. That's going to be the ability you're coming into, because it's your destiny to be intuitive and to make better decisions. Back of the deck energy, the Hierophant. Yeah, this is the information that has been passed down from generation to generation. In your case, Pile 3, this is the information that's been passed down from lifetime to lifetime. You've had several lifetimes. Maybe not all of them on Earth, but you've definitely lived several lives. This is part of the reason you are drawn to certain things. I've been talking a lot about past lives in this pile. I don't always, so I wonder if some of you are doing like a past life regression or just really communicating with like a past version of yourself or something to that extent. I really love this energy. It's very beautiful. What's underneath that? The Moon. Subconscious. Yes, subconscious feelings. Ace of Pentacles, planting a seed. I feel like we're not really dealing with emotions here. It's more like we're dealing with the information you're given and what to do with it. Because I'm not feeling very emotional. The only emotion besides the ones I talked about in the oracles I'm feeling are like a call to action, but also a hesitancy. But the insatiable need to dig deeper, even though you don't really want to know. I really love that. The insatiable need to dig deeper about yourself and maybe about the secrets of the universe. They're not really secrets, you just have to learn how to read them. I don't like the word secrets because I feel like you can know anything and everything you want. The only thing that really makes it a secret is that somebody doesn't want you to know them. Maybe ask yourself that. Why do you want to keep yourself from not knowing everything when it comes to your intuition? And why do you feel a certain way about it? But I am being told a lot of it comes from your heart. Because right now I'm automatically touching my heart chakra area. Some of it has to do with a broken heart. Some of it has to do with breaking your own heart. Like you breaking your own heart because of things you've done in the past. Maybe some of your past lives have not been great. Maybe your own current past hasn't been great. That's a weird thing to say, current past. Your current lifetime past hasn't been great. Maybe there are things you've blocked out and you don't want to see. You don't have to see them. I'm not telling you to do that. That's up to you. That's your own business. But there's definitely a feeling here that you have to come face to face with the things you are, because you're actually something pretty amazing. I love this energy for you, pile 3. I do. The High Priestess and Death means that the transformation will involve your intuition. The Wheel of Fortune, it's faded. Justice can also be seen as karma. Strength, you will have the strength to take it all on. The Hierophant. The Hierophant to me is actually a very magical card. I see it as karmic lessons sometimes, but the karmic lessons are from past lives or from your past. It's also the things you need to learn. Some people don't like it, but whatever. I like it because it's a lesson, and like I said, I like to learn. I was a very good student in high school, so I like to learn. And some of you will learn how to you will learn how to learn, essentially, because it's a never-ending process. But let's move on to some closing advice. Oh, I honestly love this energy. You're very self-disciplined, pile 3. Or you will become that at the very least. Like I said, strength here can also be seen as self-discipline. But also the things that are meant for you are going to be there. All right, so I have several cards to close you out for advice. We're using the ritual deck. These are physical things you can actually look for to heal and to better get an understanding of your feelings and what you are going through. Though it's not really feelings here. It's more like you're seeking clarity. Maybe you have a moon in like an air sign, like Libra, Aquarius, or Gemini. So to you, feeling things is just you thinking about them way too much. We have the solar plexus. This came out in pile 2. Something here about your power and confidence, activation, independent willpower. You could quite literally just cleanse out the solar plexus either through eating foods that will help the digestive system or through doing energy work or frequencies. To me, chakra healing is very simple, but do bring in the meditative aspect of it to really push that energy through. We also have Berkano, birth, maturity, and fulfillment. This is the crown and the sacral. Oh. Some of you are having kids and you're going to see part of yourself in these kids, and you're kind of afraid of that. Especially if you knew as a kid you were a very particular way. You're afraid of the things you're going to pass down to your kids. This is only for those of you wanting to have children, of course, but it could also be shown through pets. I mean, pets do take on the energies of their owners. Oh, okay. And for some of you, you're just undoing family traumas here, because Berkano, it does say birth, but I'm also thinking of the people who birthed you, the people who made you who you are. You're undoing family traumas here. And that, I feel like that's the case in a lot of my readings. I feel like that's just one of my specialties, is the ancestors coming through to let you know what it is that you need to change in order to heal the family line. I'm not saying that it's fully your responsibility. It's not. But you are a key player in this, and it would really help. It would really help, mostly to benefit you, but also to help those around you and inspire them to be better. Like I said, you're a very inspirational person, pile 3. Not even just to your own family, but to people similar to you. You're meant to call on them, you're meant to call on them to have them aspire to something better. Oh, I love this rune. I really do. The letter B could also be important. I love the runes. One of my past lives, I knew runes because I learned them very quickly. But let's see. I don't know them anymore, but like, or maybe it was a guide who followed me through this. But let's see. We have the Let Go Oracle. Yeah, as I'm saying a lot of this, the winds are picking up. I really like this though. Okay, pile 3. I'm getting 2 cards for you. Let's get this one. Oh, this is cute. She's like, she has her arms up. Let's get another one. And she's smiling in this one. Okay, let's start with reach, stretch, breathe, believe. What can you let go of to feel maximum joy? And lie in the sun and feel warmth in your heart. What does the goddess of the sun ask of you? Some of you might have a very particular sun goddess that likes to come through, or some of you definitely take inspiration from the sun, especially with solar plexus here, because it does look like a sun. I'm wondering if some of you meditate better when you're sunbathing or out on a beach or somewhere that is sunny. I'm not saying that you have to, because I know some people are very sensitive to UV rays, but there's a feeling here that some of you benefit from the sun, because now I'm being shown Superman. So definitely take a proper amount of sunlight in when needed, or you might just find it easy to meditate in the sun. I'm thinking of a little dog I know who likes to just sit. A lot of dogs do this actually, and so do cats. They just sit in the sun and they sunbathe and they meditate. They just feel good. So some of you could benefit from that, only if it's appropriate, of course. I know some people are very sensitive to the sun. At the very least, get some light, like even if it's just indirectly. Then reach, stretch, breathe, believe makes me think that some of you could benefit from something like yoga. Like I said earlier, some of you could benefit from moving around. You need to release a lot of what you're feeling through actual bodily movement, especially if you're a fire sign. In fact, this card itself has the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So especially if you're a fire sign, make sure you're getting your daily dose of sunlight and your daily dose of movement if you don't already. And even if you do already work out or do some sort of movement, do it with intention. Set an intention of something good, maybe even something emotional or mental, not just the physical, because the physical will obviously show. But it's like if you go for a run, set the intention that you're going to stop overthinking about a specific situation that's been bothering you. We're going to get your guardian angel cards. You do not have to believe in guardian angels, but I do love the advice that these cards give. This is another one of my very intuitive decks, by the way. We have trust. You are looking at a situation from a purely physical perspective, and therefore you cannot see the bigger picture and the blessings interwoven within this event. We, your angels, urge you to trust, for all will work out in the best way possible. Let go of your fear and apprehension, and allow God's healing energy to flow to you. Trust, for all will heal in ways you never thought possible. I feel like a lot of this said some things that I've already said, like purely physical. Yes, some of you probably already deal with physical movement, but set that intention for good things to come through as you do the physical. And then the fear and apprehension. I did say that at the beginning, didn't I? Where there's like a fear to move on or to proceed. If not, I am saying that now, because I was definitely feeling that within my body. And then the last cards are going to be from the Cupid Says Oracle. This is meant to be like a love oracle, but this is more a self-love oracle in this particular reading. I'm hearing to just get 2 for you. For my lovely pile 3. Let's go on an adventure. Yeah, some of you are going to go to really great places. Whether that's metaphorically, maybe you're just going to ascend to great levels, or physically, you might actually go somewhere really neat. We did have movement in the oracles, so let me know where you end up going, because I'm really excited. Whether that's physical or mentally, emotionally, because I feel like it'll vary for whomever this is watching this. We also have I'm really sorry. I'm being told to clarify the I'm really sorry. What are we... Some of you need to stop apologizing so much. I feel like that's just a very plain and simple thing, especially if you're Canadian. I know this is your thing, Canadians. I love you so much. I wish to live there one day. Hopefully I marry one of you guys, because you guys are pretty great. But stop saying sorry. Like, Unless it's an actual thing you have to apologize for. You know what? I bet you there's like Canadian people that say sorry all the time, but they don't mean it because they suck at apologizing. I bet you they exist. But maybe you're having to deal with one of those. But let me get one more card to clarify the I'm really sorry. Can we meet? Oh, this is interesting. Yeah, your soul family is ready to meet you. Your guides, your spirit guides are ready to meet you. Somebody out there is waiting to meet you, pile 3. Not because you owe them anything, but they're ready to see you. And I feel like you just have to take a few steps to get there. It's not even anything out of your way. It's just like, you know how when you want to go see your friends, you have to put on clothes and get out the door? That's essentially what this is. Somebody can't wait to meet you. They want to meet you. It could be a child if you're expecting. It could be new soul family, new friends. It could be the love of your life. I don't know, but somebody's waiting to meet you and you have to step through that door and you're there. If you're looking for a sign, this is it. Yeah, I mean, this is the sign. And hopefully a lot of this reading made sense. I've been channeling like crazy strong in these readings, so I cannot remember half of the things I said, literally from beginning to finish. I hope it doesn't make me seem silly, but this is where I leave you, my pile 3. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. I send you nothing but the best. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care. Hello there, pile 4. If you chose the green calcite and this card of intuitive knowledge, then we have your reading here for you about your emotions, how to sort them out, what you may be feeling, and what's going on here. So already off the bat, very strongly, you are letting go of something, pile 4. That, or you are in the process of it. You're either about to let go or have already let go. But regardless, these emotions that are flooding in have to do with this particular subject. Doesn't matter what it is that you've let go, because there's a feeling here that you expected it to be a lot easier, and then all these emotions have flooded through once you have either let go or as you are doing this. It's like you expected it to be freer or more liberating. And maybe that is the case. I feel like you really have had that feeling come through. But there's other very interesting feelings that are also coming along with all of this. So if you have also been in a space where things have happened to you, like maybe you're not the one who has actually let go, but you have been let go, I feel like this pile will still benefit you. It doesn't matter whether you did it or not. I feel like the feelings are going to come in regardless. So let's go ahead and look at your cards. I can't show this card because it's got a booty in it. So let me go ahead. I'm covering that up. Intuitive knowledge, number 16. Unconscious receptivity and synchronicity. I want to say this is the same number as the Tower in tarot. For some reason, I can't remember. But this is letting me know that you are tapping into intuitive knowledge, especially for those of you who are already very divinely guided, very divinely gifted. I feel like some of you have really been asking your intuition, your source, your divine guidance for answers here. And they all seem to not make sense. So hopefully this reading does make sense for you. But I really understand the feeling. I'm going to go ahead and cover this. Let's look at the rest of your oracles to see what is coming through for you. We have You Are Epic, number 4. We also have Hunger. Speak Your Truth, number 24. Yeah, whatever it is that you've let go, it has something to do with your truth, your very inner truth or your divine truth, whichever resonates more. We also have Moon. A lot of subconscious feelings. I am taking this to resonate with the tarot card, the Moon, but also for those of you who have a lot of Cancerian energy within your chart, I feel like this is you just being very open to accepting the feelings that are coming through. There's something here about nurturing yourself as well. If you haven't taken the time to nurture yourself, I ask you to do so. I urge you to do so, because especially if you've been very busy or if you've just been go, 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 I feel like some of you haven't really allowed yourself to process the emotions that are wanting to come through. I feel like you'll get them in outbursts that you weren't expecting. Like maybe you're cruising through the grocery store or something and you'll hear a song and suddenly you just feel like crying. Even though you hadn't felt anything particular that day before, it's that kind of energy that is coming through. It's very sudden. We also have Silver, number 25. I'm going to put that next to the 24 card because I feel like there's a progression here, 24, 25. Some of you could be these ages, or these ages could be of importance, but regardless, there's a feeling here that some of you, And having let this go, or in knowing that you have to let go, there's a calling to be reflective. Because when I think of silver, I think of like how reflective it is. It's kind of like a mirror. It's not exactly gold, but I feel like this is where you feel you are. Like you're on the step that is right before you reach something very pivotal. Because we do have these two cards and they look very gold-like. I mean, they're yellow, but they look very gold-like. The reason you've let this particular thing go is because you have a hunger that is rather insatiable. And I'm not sure whether it will be satiated or not. Maybe this is part of the reason you're having some sort of tricky feelings pop up. It's that indecision, it's that anxiety, like you're not sure where to go from here now that you've been let free, now that you've I'm hearing break free from Ariana Grande. You've said no to this and now you've broken free, but it's like, now what? But there is a sense that with You Are Epic, yes, you are going to step into your most amazing power, but also I'm thinking of an epic journey. Like an epic itself is a story of a very long journey. So either you're still within this very long journey of your life, or you will be coming to a pivotal point within this story of yourself. And having let this particular thing go is a very specific milestone, shall we say, because it's not just having let go of this particular thing, it's also letting go of all the things that were similar to it in the past. So I'm going to use examples here. If it was having let go of a partner, you're not just letting that partner go, you're letting go of that type of partner in general, especially if you've noticed similarities between all the people that you have previously dated. Like maybe you've noticed a pattern of the kind of people they end up being, especially once you have truly gotten to know them. And another example would be work. If you currently let go of a career or a job or any sort of, I'm hearing for some of you, it could be studies. If you currently let go of studies, I don't know why I'm saying currently, maybe this is still going on within your head. If you let that go, you'll notice a pattern of the jobs or the people you work with being the same or ending up being the same. Having let this go, you're going to open the door to new things because a lot of you are tapping into this intuitive knowledge, especially for those of you who meditate or who do the work, the shadow work, to really release old energies, release old belief systems that don't benefit you anymore. You're opening the door to something new. You're paving the way to something much more reflective of yourself, because I'm seeing silver here as an aspect of yourself for some reason. Maybe some of you like to wear silver jewelry, or even white gold if that's a thing, or platinum. Like you don't prefer the yellowish tint of gold, you prefer the silver for some reason. Take that only if it resonates. I feel like that's not going to be for everybody, but regardless, I'm going to get more cards from the Prism Oracle to see what other emotions are coming through, or particularly what exact emotions you're having to deal with here, because a lot of it seems to be indecision and some of it anxiety, fear for sure. But let's go ahead and get cards. We have space. Oh, I like that. I like this darkness coming through here. Like I said, it's a progression, a journey. And either you've been in the light and you need to go into the dark to see something else, or you're in the dark and need to go to the light. I feel like it's two very different polarities here. Let me go ahead and get more cards. We have growth. Yeah, this is definitely part of your growth. We also have surrender, which I feel is a synonym for letting go. You've surrendered this particular idea of whatever it is that you had to do. I'm going to put this over here because it looks a little silverish, and the moon and silver, they're very much sister cards, I feel, as to where the hunger and epicness are their own thing. Let me get one more card for you, pile 4. We have determination. I love this. See how the cards are reflecting this entire scenario. So one thing coming through, when you've let this particular thing go, when you have broken free, I don't know what tense to use because it's going to be different for everybody, but there's going to be a sense of polarity here where either you're going to go in one direction or the complete opposite. And I'm not sure why that is. And I feel like you feel like you're being pulled in very opposite directions. If we continue with the example of having broken up with someone, you let go of a partnership, it's like you're deciding whether you want to be in a state of not dating anybody at all and taking time for yourself, or dating people all the time, every day, every week, whatever your preferred timing of dating people is. So it's like you can't decide what it is you want to do. So you're being shifted in two very different opposite directions because you feel that you don't want to be right in the middle. You want to go big or go home. And that's okay. That's a very natural thing to feel because you're suddenly given all this freedom. The possibilities are endless, truly. But the main reason, again, that you've let this particular thing go, you are meant for a lot more, pile 4. You are meant for so much more. With hunger and determination, you have what it takes to get yourself to better places. You have what it takes to watch yourself succeed, to accomplish all your goals, all your dreams, all the things that you want. You're somebody who's very driven. Even if you don't feel like this, let this particular thing go. And once you do, watch yourself really work hard at whatever it is that you want. An example I'm being shown, I've known people who have been let go from jobs that they weren't expecting. They had been laid off. And rather than sit around and mope that they're jobless, they ended up finding something way better. They ended up starting their own businesses, especially during 2020. I feel like a lot of people found themselves in this particular predicament. There was like a big sudden hunger and determination that awoken within them because they knew their option was not to fail. They had families to feed. They had dreams to accomplish. They had their own livelihood to watch out for. They went ahead and awoke that inner tiger or lion. I'm seeing the strength card in my mind. Like, they conquered their demons and ended up doing way better than they had before. Like, some of them were really thanking that opportunity, whatever it was, because they were really seeing it as an opportunity as opposed to like, a fallback, so that they could break free and spread their wings. And I feel like that's also within you, pile 4. Whether you see that or not, maybe some of you have already let this go and you don't see that yet. Just give yourself a moment. You're still healing, you're still processing, and that's okay. I mean, not everything is going to happen overnight. It will seem like it when you look back on it, but right now I feel like some of you are still in this state of recovery from whatever it is that you've let go, especially with the space card here. Anytime I see this space, I think that you need the moments of silence, you need the quiet, you need I think of mourning a loved one. You know how it's respectful to mourn somebody who has passed away? It's that same thing, but for the thing that you have broken free from, because you've surrendered it. You do have to give it its respect and honor and allow yourself to mourn appropriately. Like, don't go into a deep dive of, emotions and feelings and feeling like you're out of control. I see that a lot. Some people, when they break up, they just want to go drinking every night. Like, what does that accomplish? Do it if you feel the need to, but like, stop yourself. And I feel like I actually don't encourage it personally. If I was your friend, I wouldn't, because then you'll keep numbing those feelings that are wanting to surface. Because even as I see this, a lot of these aren't really feelings. Determination and hunger are for sure, because these are your birthrights. These are what you naturally have within you. Hence why you had to cut something off that wasn't allowing your growth to come through. But with growth and speak your truth, I love these cards so much because you have been tapping into your intuitive knowledge, because you've been allowing it to come through, you've been able to speak your truth a lot more clearly, or at the very least be very honest with yourself about the things that, one, that you are, that you want, that are very much true to yourself. Two, you've been very truthful to people around you as well. Let's say you are dating again. I feel like you'll be very honest with these people about what it is that you want, about what has happened. You don't have to tell them your life story, but do tell them what your goal is in dating them. It's that kind of energy. Don't overshare, but let them know, yes, I'm dating to get married, or I'm just dating to have fun, or I've recently let go of someone and I kind of just want to have fun right now. It's that kind of energy. Be very honest with the people around you. And in showing your honesty, you will draw the people to you that are also going to be very honest with you and will vibe with you a lot more. Like, you let go of that pressure of having to put up a mask because you speak your truth on both ends. But this is part of how you become the person you're meant to be. Even if, let's say, you take that same energy into a career, you're going to go into a new job or into a new career and really express to the people who are trying to hire you what you expect from them as an employee. And therefore, you're able to better find exactly what it is that you need when it comes to a career, whether that's a better salary, better benefits, or just the flexibility of being able to do what you need to do and keep a job. So there's a feeling here that this growth, whatever you've let go, it's hard to navigate. And you have a floodgate of feelings coming through. Allow yourself to feel them. Take some time off if you need to. Really give yourself the evening to process it in a healthy way. I'm being told to stress healthily, because I know some people just want to take a deep dive into whatever it is that their comfort vice is when it comes to these kinds of things. But sit with yourself, sit with your emotions, and really allow yourself to process what it is you're feeling. Because it'll be different for everybody. Because yes, there's sadness, there's regrets especially. There's nothing wrong with feeling regrets, especially if this is something that you were looking forward to letting go of, like a job that was mistreating you. You might have regrets because maybe they had a really good salary, or maybe they had really great benefits, or you had really good coworkers. There's going to be some sort of regret. Allow yourself to feel that, but don't let it hold you back. It's like, I don't know why, but anytime I hear that song by Edith Piaf, the French singer, the No Regrets song, Je ne regrette rien. Every time I hear that, I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with feeling regrets as long as you don't let them hold you back. It's just a natural part of life. Everyone's going to feel something at some point. So yeah, don't shame yourself for feeling the things you feel, pile 4. It's okay. Even if this was your own decision, it's okay if you cry about it. Even if it was your own decision, it's okay to feel a certain way or that you messed up. You didn't mess up. I'm here to let you know you didn't. And I'm saying this as somebody who has terminated things maybe a little bit earlier than I should have. In the end, I knew it was not going to work out. So even if it was a little sooner than I would have liked, it's still better than having been stuck in that energy. Because there have been things that I've seen or that I've let myself, ride out till it was no longer rideable, and all you feel after that is drainage and probably even more trauma than if I would have let it go sooner. So don't feel bad about how you've let this go when you let it go. Take the healthiest route possible is what I'm hearing. Like, keep yourself in a good light, in a good energy. When I see these two types of energies, they're both healing. Darkness and light can be both healing. Know which one it is that you need. Because I know some people who are very, like toxic positivity comes to mind. Some of those people could really benefit from spending the night in, or the day in, I guess the whole day in, and really processing their emotions, sitting with their own mind to see how it is that they feel. And then the opposite is also true. If you're somebody who's more likely to stay at home being depressed, maybe go outside, take in some fresh air, some sunshine. Allow yourself to be surrounded by things that make you happy. It all depends on where you are, because like I said, I see two very different polarities, and maybe you'll do both. Maybe you'll do both depending on the day. But the thing is, don't feel guilt, don't feel shame for the things that you feel and having let this particular thing go, because you know it wasn't meant for you. Spirit is coming through to say that you're right, it wasn't meant for you. And if it was, it'll come back in a better package, in a better way, upgraded and ready for you to handle. Yeah, I'm being shown of a, like a car that's gotten into a wreck and you send it off to the shop. Like, you regret that you don't have your car, you mourn the fact that you don't have it. But if it was meant for you, it'll come back as good as new, nicely repaired. Or if you're meant for a new car because it's irreparable, then you'll move on to a better car, I don't know why that particular analogy was coming through. I guess I needed something that wasn't going to trigger anybody, hopefully. But this entire reading itself is, we're talking about feelings here. We're talking about emotions. It's going to get you in there. But I see nothing but good stuff for you, pile 4. You just really need to allow yourself to process whatever it is that you feel, because there's nothing wrong with what you feel. There's nothing wrong with that. As long as you're going about it a healthy way, you should be fine, because you are meant for better things. And honestly, I feel like this particular passage, a rite of passage, if you will, is needed for you to approach those better things that are coming for you. It'll help you understand and appreciate the things that are about to come for you, pile 4. But let's move on to the tarot portion for my lovely pile 4. All of these readings have been so different, so if you felt called to any of them, by all means go to them. Like, they've all been so good, and the energy has been so vibrant. I've used different tarot decks for all of them as well. So for you, I'm using the Star Child Tarot, and he's a thick boy, so forgive the crappy shuffling, but I do love this deck. So I'm only gonna get 3 cards for you unless more pop out. I should say 3 placements, because I'm thinking of 3 particular things that are coming through that you are feeling, or to better process these emotions for you. We have the 9 of Swords. Yeah, this is that anxiety coming through. Some of you are just, it's like a combination of indecision and fear. you just don't know what to do, or you don't know. For some of you, I've already answered that if you don't know what you're doing, I promise you, you're at the very least on the right path. As long as you're doing it healthily, I can't stress that enough. Because it's easy to overdo our negative habits out of comfort when we go through things like this, whether that's excessively partying or in some cases excessively shopping. Okay, we also have transformation. This is the death card, but I love that it's transformation here because look at this door. Look at how bright it is. You're over here and all it takes is a few steps to get there. This is also an eclipse, I want to say. Do pay attention to the moon cycles. I feel like those are going to allow you to help you process things. I do this from time to time. When I'm going through something, I look at the moon and see whether it's going to be appropriate for shadow work or not. If we have like a Scorpio moon or any moon in water, at least for me, is appropriate. But if you want to be a little bit more detached, look at like an air moon, or what's another good one? Earth moons to heal the body, and fire moons to do things and get things done. When you want a sense of accomplishment, do the fire moons. So a lot of you could benefit from working with the moon, or working with the moons and how they affect you personally on an astrological level. Let's get one more card. We have the Eight of Wands. A lot of this will go by faster than you think, but there's a card underneath that. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, fate. This was meant to be. Whatever is meant for you will come in a lot faster than you think, or it will come in easy. The Eight of Wands can be quick movement, but it could also be swift and easy movement, depending on the situation. Because I know not everything can come in quickly. For example, if you're looking for a house, it's not going to be as fast as you think. But I think the fastest I've ever done it is like a month. And it's only been out of the 2 times that I've done it. So depending on the situation, it'll either go very smoothly or very quickly, possibly both. Let's go ahead and clarify these cards. But do know the Wheel of Fortune is fate at hand. And it's part of your fate to have to process these things as well. It's part of your transformation and destiny. Very profound messages, pile 4. Let's clarify the Nine of Swords. We have the 10 of Pentacles. Your anxiousness will be... I'm getting 2 messages. Your anxiousness can be better alleviated through something physical, whether that's working out or yoga, or maybe just working a little bit more, maybe putting in the extra hours at work. Again, don't overburden yourself. Do it in a healthy way. If you feel you have the energy to work those extra hours, do it. If not, by all means, take the time off. And the second message is, if this is an anxiety about money, know that money is coming through, or that the resources will be there when you need them. Let's clarify the transformation card here. Ooh, Judgment. Yeah, like I said, this, you were meant to let this particular thing go because it's part of your growth. It's part of your entire, it's just part of your story. You're going to look back at this pivotal moment and think, thank goodness I did that, or thank goodness this happened, because it's meant to allow you to grow. Judgment is, I've always seen this as a decision that is made that is necessary. But the way I was taught to, or I learned a different way of reading it the other day, it's accepting all the good things that are about to come through into your life. Accepting goodness. Things being done in your favor, essentially. Let's clarify this last position. A lot of scorpionic energy, though. That's transformative energy, and this is beautiful. The Magician. Oh, okay. The Magician is my favorite card of the major arcana. Well, it's between him and the High Priestess, but you can see them as 2 parts of the same thing. But this is you being able to manifest everything and anything that you want. Like I said, you're calling in something and it's going to come quicker or easier than whatever it is that you previously had, especially if you're somebody that's so used to struggling, so used to working hard. In fact, it's because you work so hard that this is going to come in way easier than you thought, and it's going to be everything you could possibly imagine. The Magician is a manifester. Quite honestly, I don't know why I'm being told to say this. I've always thought he was the sexiest card in the whole major arcana. So whatever it is that you're bringing in, know that it's going to be very attractive. It's going to be very good for you. It's going to be beneficial for you. It's going to work with you. Whether that's a job, whether that's a person, whether that's a place to live, whatever the situation is here, it's meant for you and it's meant to work for you in the best way possible. You yourself could see yourself as this magician where you're going to be in such a better light. You're going to be in a place of power, a place of being able to call anything to you which you want. You're really going to have a lot more control over your life because whatever you had let go, let's face it, it wasn't allowing you to have control. But first, you have to process these emotions, the feeling of transformation. Let's face it, change is scary. It can be scary because you've gotten so used to whatever it was that you had before. So now having to deal with this new space, it's going to be a little uncomfortable. It's going to feel a little tricky. It's growing pains essentially. But once you're done with it, or once you get used to it, it's going to feel so much better because you're going to elevate your energy. You're going to elevate your power to something so much better. I really love the Magician with the Wheel of Fortune because this is fate and this is you having a hand within your fate. And the Eight of Wands just allows this to go a lot more smoothly. Like, I cannot express enough just how easy this is going to be. Things will come to you. In fact, you won't be going out of your way to do too much here. Things will come to you because you are drawing them to you. You are calling them to you. But you are right here, pile 4, or you will be right here in the transformation phase. And I love how these cards are very similar. We have darkness here and the light coming through. And even though this isn't too dark, you could see it as dark and you just have to pass through this door into the light. And you do that by processing whatever it is that you're feeling. Doesn't matter what it is. Just don't be ashamed of what you feel. Allow yourself to feel it. Allow yourself to work through it as well. Maybe write it down if you feel the need to. Talk to a friend. Again, don't overload your friend with all these things, but ask them if they would like to help you process it, because I can tell some of you are just in a weird space. If you need the professional help, by all means, seek that out as well. I'm just here to reflect to you what's going on. But there's a feeling here that you're going to go from all this turmoil to something so much better. And I truly, truly love this energy for you, pile 4. With the 9 of Swords and the 10 of Pentacles, though, it's odd because I'm kind of reading this like the 10 of Wands. So maybe some of you have been overworking yourselves, because the 10 of Pentacles is, yes, abundance, financial stability, and health. Like, it's abundance in the physical, but I feel like some of you felt like it was burdening you. So maybe you have let go of a really good job and you're worrying about where your finances are coming through. But like I said, some of you have the possibility to be your own boss. Some of you have you can do anything, pile 4, essentially. You just have to really get your mind to it. And in order to do that, process the feelings you are feeling first. Process them. I've already mentioned Scorpio energy because of the transformation. The Wheel of Fortune is square energy, which is again Scorpio, but it's also, sorry, I said square, I meant fixed energy. So also Scorpio, Leo, Taurus, and Aquarius. Something stubborn here, but I feel like you have to work through that. Like, yeah, it's going to be a little difficult, but once you work through it, it's going to be great. And the Magician is Mercury, or at the very least, the god, is it Thoth or Thoth? Thotho, for those of you who resonate with that particular god. But his equivalent would be Mercury or Hermes in the Roman and Greek pantheons. So look to that aspect within your chart. Look at your Mercury. That is how you're going to better, well, one, process emotions, believe it or not, especially when it's in tune with the moon. So maybe wait for when the moon is conjunct your own Mercury. It happens once every month, more or less. Or look to somebody with whom you can communicate emotions very easily. I feel like that's going to help a lot. Or just write out your feelings. Maybe even, I used to do this because I got tired of writing so much. I used to write a lot for university, and it was around this time that I did this. I would record myself processing what I was feeling back when I was going through some very major changes. And just having to listen to yourself and how you feel will allow you to really understand what it is that you're going through, because you might end up channeling stuff and you don't even know. But yeah, some of you are going into a much better phase of life because you've let this go. So I applaud you. I'm very proud of you, pile 4. But let's move on to some closing messages for you. And we have a lot. We have a lot of cards for you for your advice. We're using the ritual deck, and these are physical things you can apply to your healing and or to better process your emotions. We have Rainbow Moonstone. Moon is coming out a lot. I feel like some of you might be Cancers or have very strong Cancerian energy. We have Divine Feminine, Mystery, and Wisdom. This is I want to say it's the crown and the solar plexus. And I actually have black moonstone. I never really resonated with regular moonstone or rainbow moonstone, but I do love black moonstone. And I feel they have the same properties, but this is a little bit more, I feel like it's more feminine, quite honestly, because of the darkness it has. So you would definitely benefit from this. And even as I'm holding this, it feels very healing. So I can tell some of you are very, you might be very in tune with crystals and earth energy. Like if you pick up a crystal, you'll be able to feel what its energy is. Oh, I meant to get two for you. I don't know why I just got one. But yeah, you're tapping into your divine wisdom, your intuitive knowledge here. We also have South, challenge, endurance, overcoming. This came out in another pile, and I don't remember which. I want to say it was pile 1, but regardless, when I think of the South, I think of subconscious feelings. Again, let them rise to the surface. Let them come to the center so that you can better observe them. Also, you could live somewhere that is south of whatever is central to you. So, or you could be going south for like a vacation, like south of where you live for either a vacation or to visit somebody. And I feel like that trip itself could really help you heal or help you seek what it is that you need in order to heal. We're going to get 2 cards from the Letting Go deck, which is appropriate for this particular pile because we're all about letting go here. I do have a reading on letting go as well. I'll try to link it in the description or in the comments because it was a really good reading. I feel like maybe some of you may have come from that as well. All right. We have, okay, these 2 cards. Oh, I like this. She looks like she's in water, like in a river or something. Some of you could benefit from being near water. Meditate to dispel all fears and become a beautiful, enchanting, magnetic person. I love this. Yeah, those fears are going to be gone from you, pile 4. Meditate. Meditate with the intention to heal. Meditate with the intention to alleviate whatever it is that's keeping you up at night or not allowing you to sit down and think clearly. We also have this one. Oh, I haven't seen this card. She's wearing an orange dress. I love that because that's that sacral energy coming through. Let all distractions float by. Concentrate on the things you really want. Yeah, like I said, some of you have a habit of like being distracted by vices or maybe just allowing yourself to be distracted, whatever that is, especially if you're somebody, and the vice doesn't even have to be that bad. Maybe the vice is overworking. Maybe it's working out too much or I don't know, you're just distracting yourself. So make sure you take the moment to really focus on the feelings at hand, on whatever pops up. You just have to do the work and it'll come through, pile 4, I promise. Let's get an angel card. Guardian angel card. You do not have to believe in guardian angels for this. I just love the advice it gives. But for those of you who do believe in guardian angels, know that they're always with you. Quite honestly, everybody has at least one. I've never met somebody who doesn't really have one. And they will come through in the form of like past loved ones. So for my pile 4. Oh, you got 2. Maybe you do have maybe you do believe in guardian angels. Breakthrough. How many beautiful heartfelt wishes have been crushed by fear? How many times has society's voice of disapproval cast a shadow on your dreams? It is time to break free. There's that song, break free of these false beliefs and realize your dreams. Allow your heart to guide you. Trust your inner guidance. The time is right. Oh, I love this so much, pile 4. I love this. I love the breakthrough. It's coming. I promise you it's coming. And acceptance. There is nothing about you that you need to fix. Reclaim the disowned parts of you that yearn for love and acceptance. You are beautiful just as you are, regardless of any faults you may perceive you have. You are an eternally radiant being of light. Accept all that you are and just be you. When you truly accept yourself, your whole world will magically and lovingly transform. Oh my God, pile 4, you have such beautiful things coming for you. I don't think you even know. But yes, about both of these. There's a breakthrough and there's an acceptance, and they're going to go hand in hand somehow. You have to accept and then the breakthrough will come. But some of you, I feel, think that the breakthrough has to come before you can accept. No, accept and then breakthrough. Let's go in alphabetical order here. A, B. Accept that you deserve these things and they will come. And you will learn this again through processing the emotions you're refusing to see. And then we're going to get a few cards from the Cupid Says Oracle. It's typically a love oracle, but here it's going to be a self-love oracle. I'm being told to get 3 for you, unless more pop out. For my pile 4, we have the one that got away. Yeah, some of you have regrets. It's okay to feel regret, I promise you. Regardless, if it's meant for you, it'll come back. If not, better things will come for you, I promise. We also have wait for me. Yeah, the great things that are coming into your life, they're there. They're in the waiting line. They're in the waiting room. They are going to come through. Just allow them to, well, one, finish up what you're doing, and then they'll come through. It's like it's like when you have a date and you have to finish getting ready and they're just, out in the waiting room or something. I don't know why that's coming through, but yeah, it's coming, I promise. There's something out there for you, and I just want to know why. So I can tell that some of you have really been in your head about this. You've been in your head about why this particular thing had to happen. And I've already said, because of your transformation, you had to process something very specific about this particular scenario that you've let go, so that you can better accept the things that are coming, so you can better understand yourself and what it is that you truly want. You keep wanting to know why. But the thing is, I feel like you already know at your heart center. Maybe you want to know why you're feeling these things. And honestly, I feel like we could go on and on about that. Just let yourself feel what you feel, and the answers will come after. Back of the deck energy. Why not? I guess this is answering this. I just want to know why. And then it's like, well, why not? Maybe your guides are a little sarcastic, but this is very cute. But yeah, amazing, beautiful things are waiting for you, Pile 4. Do the work, process your emotions, allow yourself to feel the love, allow yourself to feel the acceptance. I wish nothing but the best for you, wishing you all the best light, sending you all the love, Pile 4. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If any of this resonated, or if you would like to claim it, you can do so. You don't have to. This is a very personal type of reading. And if you feel like doing so, you can like, comment, and subscribe. I will see you in the next reading. Take care.